Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's turned into offensive points.
Offensive points from Jessica Petrie. That's a shot Brooke Perriman's going to want to have back, especially when it results to a Prince 3 on the other end.
Number 13 in blue got it back. Mirkovic, left open, Stojakovic found lunch.
And that is exactly what I was talking about.
Boskovic to inbound. Right. Got it! Robert Wright III wins it for the Cougars.
Yeah, I think our players are, they know what, you just hear the word Utah and you know what it means, right? I mean, great defense, great running game. You watch their offense, it's exotic, it's exciting. It's, the quarterback runs, it's a lot of different things. And so, they know exactly what's at stake, and they're also unhappy with how we played the last two games. And so, TJ's going to have to get healthy. We can't have him not be able to move around the bowl game. This is a great opportunity for Isaiah Mackay and Quentin Ives at tailback. Someone's going to step in at right guard for Rocco. I think, guys, this is a great opportunity versus a great team.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What is up, DB?
You are looking live.
We are live. That's how it works.
We're live.
I'm telling you, I like the little loop-de-swoop.
Yeah. So
what are you pointing at?
I'm pointing at the TV over there
where I pointing at me. What?
Where I saw your boy earlier on I'm Over It, just killing your Dodgers.
Oh, Pat.
Yeah.
Pat, the producer. Is he mad about Eddie Diaz?
Apparently. He was killing them. He goes, I'm over it. The Dodgers. That was the whole thing.
Yeah. I stuck around. I listen to old Pat Costello.
I am not over the Dodgers.
Well, I wouldn't imagine. I mean, you're pretty far into this thing to just peace out now.
Yeah. Pod committed.
Although one of my favorite players of all time is no longer playing. But it's fine.
Who's that? Jeff Kent just got in the Hall of Fame.
Which is unbelievable.
I know.
I mean,
we live in a world where Jeff Kent's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, my steroid guys can't get in, but old Jeff Kent, boy, I tell you, let's get him in.
I guess we can't.
Can I just tell you, I fast forwarded through that interview.
Which one?
His
Rules? No, Jeff Kent's.
Yes. What are we talking?
I don't know.
I get it. We
jump around a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you off the hook, but I almost went in on you, like dummy. Would you just listen? But
nah, it could be anything within the last 5 seconds of what we're talking about. I'll give you a little grace.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, just today.
They messed up my coffee order, so I'm struggling a little bit.
Yeah, what happened?
They gave me a hot instead of an iced. I don't like hot beverages.
Yeah, that's probably a game changer.
Yeah, I'm not drinking that.
There's plenty of ice over there.
I know, but I don't know.
I get ice out of there every day.
I'll be honest.
Although today
is that frozen solid?
Man, listen, I'm so mad.
Oh, that is like frozen.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't feel it when I grabbed it.
I don't know. If you're not like squeezing it to check, you probably don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Look at that thing. That thing's like popped up.
It was hard.
I thought maybe when
it actually
is. It's like a rock. I thought when you showed it to me that maybe it had done that and it was melted again. So I was like, I'll just open it.
It's melting.
No,
don't open that.
Listen,
none of our stuff will ever work again.
I have a lot of weird OCD habits. And when I tell you I'm happy to be here, I'm happy to be here because are my lips dry?
They don't look like it.
I may pass out at any moment.
Are you okay?
I am not.
What happened?
Man, my OCD kicked in and it might be the end of me. Of all the things to get me.
What happened?
So everybody kind of has like things that bug them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you may feel I have more than some others.
I mean, I don't have any. I'm very adaptable, but
yeah. So there's this thing that it doesn't suit my eye. It's very
LeBron James.
It's very like you weren't raised in the wildish
kind
of thing. I'm not a big squeeze bottle guy because the form and the shape of squeeze bottles should. If you're gonna get a squeeze bottle, man, like. Let's not have that thing look like you wrung it out like a wet wash rag.
Question.
Yes.
Are we talking like ketchup or toothpaste?
Everything.
All squeeze bottles.
if I walk in my house right now and I will show you my toothpaste thing, it looks like I ironed it. I cannot stand when people just grip it and squeeze.
Yeah, I get it.
I do it every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Okay, that's weird that you brought that up because that is a thing.
Well, no, because it does bother me when
I don't like there's a you don't have to get toothpaste everywhere on the cap. It's cool if you just put it on your toothbrush and like put the cap back. Like that's totally fine.
You're allowed to do that?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Don't matter to me.
So you've seen the condiments in my fridge. There's quite a few.
You've got like 8 different mustards.
I prefer jars. Do you know why?
Because they look nicer?
Yeah.
And they stack better?
And when you squeeze a bottle, we're big upside down people too, which drives me up the wall. Like we put it upside
with the squeeze
down.
bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it gets down to the end, it's fine.
The whole time though?
But the whole time, it's a big bottle. I don't want to open the fridge and feel like, we're in Korea and a tsunami just hit, right? Like, we don't need to be doing all this.
Okay.
So anyway, I mean, it's a total first world problem.
It's all right.
What is wrong with my health this morning? Lots of back and forth and debates over our bathroom looking like a Bath and Body Works.
Oh, you've told me about this. Yeah.
Several products.
Lots of options.
I've gotten more. Like it's very well organized, and if you're gonna be that, like I'm the only one in here, then let's be organized.
Okay.
So I get in the shower this morning, and I don't know why, but there's 54 things of shampoo, give or take 4. Cap on, cap off, squeeze bottle, whatever, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, I'm just over it. So about 4 caps I just took off, and I would go, and I would
like reinflate the bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I may or may not have eaten a lot of
swallow a lot of shampoo this morning.
Yep, not feeling good.
That's the first thing I thought. I was like, you definitely ate some shampoo.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm in the shower though, so I figure it's just gonna wash off my face, and I'm not gonna swallow it.
No, I didn't though, did it?
It's dicey. Pretty dicey for your boy. So that's probably what I get. It is, and I just like I pulled one of these. I don't even know why I'm telling you this, except I don't have therapy until 12. So I'm in the shower and I'm like,
this before or after you eat the shampoo?
This is after.
Okay.
I'm in the shower, but it's fine. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, this is how I'm talking to myself. Should that be bothering me? Like, water's wrong. Like, I gotta figure this out. So,
can I give you, since you don't have therapy till noon, can I give you a little advice?
Sure.
So, in my experience, as somebody who's gone to extensive therapy, because I need it.
Can you imagine? I'm like, hey, Kyle's gonna be like, hey man, where we at? Howard think, man, you got
like
squeeze bottles.
Friggin'
He's gonna be like,
shampoos.
he's gonna be like, get out.
So here's the thing. I've learned when you're having your moment, and you're like, should I be this mad about this?
Chances are no.
Well, no. It's not even that. Chances are it doesn't matter whether you should be or not. You're going to have a hard time talking yourself out of how you feel.
Shane, I mean, don't you want to reinflate the shapes of bottles so it's correct?
So the question isn't, should I feel this way? It's, should I react differently to how I feel? That's the real question.
I don't want to know that answer.
Well, that's the question you need to answer.
Yeah. The downside of jars, though, is a lot of times you don't get as cool stuff.
What do you mean?
So I'm into these,
like there's certain products they don't sell in jars.
I'm into these like these different like Japanese sauces and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of them come in squeeze bottles.
Yeah, especially you go to like the Asian market and stuff.
Yeah.
Now
they're very good squeeze. They're not like these, right?
No, they're like quality.
Yeah.
So and a lot of times they're smaller.
And you have
you
have the screw cap.
Yeah, so you could dump it out if you want to.
So
and sometimes they have a little bit smaller opening, so it's cleaner.
But some of this other stuff, man.
I spent some time at the Asian market.
I don't know, man.
So since we're kind of complaining about stuff, especially in like bathrooms and whatever, and this is all over the house though.
Good morning, DBJ. What are we on today?
What's up, buddy? So my wife, who is better at almost everything than I am, has this one flaw that does not matter at all, but it drives me a little crazy.
Shane, you can't relate to this, but this reminds me a lot of going to the restroom.
It's physical. It's hard. It's cold.
I don't think she's physically capable of properly putting a lid on anything.
Oh God.
So you get like the Tylenol or the Advil bottle or whatever it is.
Is it her or you that's the take 6 sips of a can and leave it sitting?
That is her.
Oh yeah. See.
By the way, why is it because it's white?
Yeah. That's why.
No, it's what? The number of times I have spilled like half bottles of pick any product.
So I'm like that with seasoning.
Because I grab from the top,
Okay.
usually.
Vitamins, seasoning, just put the lid back on.
So here's the worst part.
Help me.
Help me.
Just
So you grab it and it's just
yes, because I'm a top grabber, which again, that part's on me. I've tried to learn. Okay, I'm trying to take accountability for what I can take accountability for. But even when she tries, never is it on straight. It's always crooked. I'm like, I was like, you mess with like knives and things for a living. Your dexterity is better than this.
Okay, so do you know what it is? Because I'm traumatized when I get ice back there.
Oh, no, why?
They use it's so often. I think maybe from her job with ingredients, it doesn't pay to have to do this every time.
Oh.
I'm just.
That's a good point.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
You're probably right.
Because
you're probably right.
You just don't have time. Like, you just need it and grab it. You don't. And sometimes your hands are messy or you have gloves on. So
She does. She wears gloves a lot.
So I think it's just habit because.
You're probably right.
The reason, and it's changed the way that I buy seasonings. The reason I'm paranoid about it, and it's probably not as high. I mean, it just depends on who you are. I don't want to make any sweeping judgments. But from a price point standpoint, it's probably not cost effective to buy the seasonings in bulk like I buy. They're a little better. I'm very particular. But a lot of times, what can happen is the worse quality you get, it clumps, because of humidity, right? So I'm a huge lid on guy, primarily because. The spice rack is above my head. Yeah. So I have to, you have to like. Yeah,
you can't get like a good grip.
So it's like.
I gotcha.
And I just don't want to be cleaning up stuff off my.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It's never been spices because I don't cook at all.
Yeah.
So not once has it been spices. It's always like Tylenol.
I wonder how much more room I would have if I didn't have like 7 smoked paprikas.
I mean, you'd have more room for sure.
6 oreganos. Like
do you need 6 oreganos?
No. I don't even know.
Do you need 1 oregano?
No.
See, the way you answered that, I was like, I don't think you like oregano.
I know, man, but I don't cook for just me. Like Micah likes this spaghetti bake, and it's like
I do like spaghetti.
I don't want to cheat the kid just because I have bad taste, but
that's nice of you. No, legitimately, that is nice. Like that's very unselfish. Because I'd be like, hey, oregano sucks. You're eating what I eat, bud.
Yeah.
Selfish.
So I'm not getting a lot of.
That's why I haven't had kids.
Aim or Colgate or Crest this morning. I'm getting a lot of whatever this is.
Head and Shoulders or whatever it is.
Dude, I was traumatized.
Pantene.
The cap was broken off. I was like, oh, I'd throw that away.
Yeah.
I'm just weird like that. It looks broken. What?
Just
that's
it's all right. No, I get it.
That's why I don't talk to you as a professional.
I thought I was really helpful with how you react to things instead of trying to talk yourself out of your feelings. Like I actually think that was pretty smart.
God, this is pissing me off.
You're not going to give me credit for it, but later you're going to think about that. You're like, damn, that was a good point.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I can't think of one time I've said that last week.
Tell your guy what I said, and he'll be like, dead on. You can't talk yourself out of how you feel. You can't change how you react to it.
I'll tell them.
You do it. You tell him. Be like, hey, this guy I talk to a lot thinks he's smart, and I just try to see if he's wrong or not. Because I know you won't lie to me about it.
You're interesting.
Yeah, I know.
I think I'm gonna need my glasses today.
You think so?
I don't know.
We got a lot going on in the chat already.
Our chat is very impressive.
Yeah, we got a lot of people going on. I'm trying to figure out if I
Where are we starting?
Last I saw, there was some oregano talk.
Oh yeah, oregano's. But again, I'm not a big Italian guy, so oregano, if I can avoid it, I probably do.
Kobe thinks you don't need that many seasonings of the same kind.
Yeah. Kobe, are you organized? You may want to come help me out. I don't know.
Travis is talking about his wife with multiple PhDs has a lot of the same problems. So it's not an intelligence issue.
Okay.
It's just kind of a. I think,
Kobe talks in absolutes.
yes,
He says things like ever, never,
always, forever.
He said there is zero reason to have that many spices.
There's not a lot of wiggle room.
I'm probably inclined to agree with him.
No, I mean, like for this, he's right. You don't need 6 oreganos.
It's a little
probably exaggerating a little, but you've got multiple oreganos.
Yeah, I was looking for a Cajun seasoning for the jambalaya the other day. There's 3. It's inexcusable.
Yeah, especially are they the same ones?
2 of them are.
Yeah, that's yeah. Mm-hmm. Like if you're talking like, oh, this one tastes a little different than that one, but if they're the same, like I don't know.
Now I get it because sometimes I'll have
like, oh, it's about to be out.
Or what's a good one? Like cumin. Like I'll have roasted cumin, and I'll have regular.
Okay, sure.
One's a little earthier.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So that's different. Those are different though. I consider those different things.
The what we got going on? No. All right, I'm ready.
Travis says, what if I forget how much of said ingredient I have and I end up with 4 bottles of the same balsamic vinegar?
So I get it.
It does.
It happens.
I don't know how it happens 4 times. I do know how it happens twice. I've done that before.
Dude, my pantry is terrifying. I have better than bouillon. I have bouillon cubes. And for some reason, I have 3 things of chicken broth and 6 things of beef broth. I don't need it. I make my own. Like, I don't know what happened. The bottom of my pantry looks like an Asian market. I have 4 hoisin sauces. I don't need 4 hoisin sauces.
It's pretty good, though.
No, I mean, when I get on a roll, I run through them.
I like some hoisin sauce.
I got 2 oyster sauce. I mean, I'm like, what am I doing?
Ooh, David had a tough. He accidentally dumped half a bottle of seasoning on a steak the other day because the cap wasn't on right. I'd be mad about that.
So,
like, I'd be actually mad.
That's happened to me.
Yeah,
and it's very upset.
I would rather spill.
So are you the guys that cook or gals that cook, they know I don't like the spin tops where you go counterclockwise or clockwise and one has the big side where you can pour and the other has the holes where you can shake.
Yeah.
But like slap your mama and yo, I felt dumb saying it. Slap yo mama and like Tony Kacheri, not to be confused with Sachery.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those they're made that way. So I don't like them because it's a total crapshoot on one of those things are spun closed correctly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't. You gotta be real careful before you.
Some of those is just a.
Did you see what Rico said to you?
Well, I'm afraid.
He said, "DB, not a big Italian. That's correct. You are a medium-sized African American."
Rico was at hoops last night.
Yeah, he was. Was it Nebraska UNO? He was at.
Yeah.
Or Nebraska Omaha. Sorry.
So you know the buddy that's in my phone, Degenerate.
Yeah.
Aaron. At about. It was somewhere around noon yesterday. He goes, have you ever seen a line at 62.5? I had no idea what he was talking about.
Well, Hoiberg talked about it in his presser.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I knew.
So I looked at it, and I blew it up, and he had circled it.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, sure enough, I'm like, do you know how hard that is? Like, how would you score? How would you beat somebody by 6? Look, he sent it to me, and he circled it. He's nuts.
That's a big number.
Well, I just keep scrolling.
I don't listen.
But I'm telling you that he earns he can find volleyball. He can do.
Isn't he the one that was giving you like wrestling lines?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's like, hey, I was 28.5. That seems like a lot. Or he's he's totally that guy. That's a good memory. That's a really good memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that dude.
I remember.
I don't even know where you find this stuff.
I don't either. I don't either.
Yeah. Well,
that's why.
What?
Sorry, the chat's just.
I need you to focus.
I'm trying to lock in. I apologize. Our chat's a little.
Are they on the food take?
Yeah, they're on it a lot. this morning.
Dixie, that is not true. I can't even say your full name without and keep a straight face.
Kobe says spin top seasonings are too difficult for you, DB. I don't think that was what he was saying, Kobe.
Kobe likes needling me.
He likes needling everybody, to be fair.
No, they're just annoying. Like,
no, I get it. Yeah.
The half dial, make sure it's lined up correctly. I'm gonna get 2 holes to sprinkle and a little opening to pour.
You know what makes me mad is sometimes the holes aren't cut very well.
I know, and you have to like.
Well, no, not just that, but sometimes they're like not aligned right. So in order to get the sprinkle, you still get like
a little bit
slice of the. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
And now that I make slightly above minimum wage, I don't buy the tones anymore, the little red ones.
Oh yeah.
Those used to be the worst though.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
No. I'm gonna say Dixie.
Can I call him Wrecked?
I'll
just call him Wrecked. Or
yeah,
I'm gonna call him.
He's gonna eventually need a nickname.
I'm gonna call him Rex.
Contributes enough.
I'm just gonna call him Rex.
You know, I was like 7 years old. What was it 2 weeks ago when I realized what? That
what his handle
I had to
was?
read that slow. I was like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah, he's had some wow moments.
He has. How about his press? How long did he talk yesterday?
33 minutes.
Oh, that's not as long as I thought.
No, he's had longer. Like he's gone 37-40 before.
I have no thoughts.
That's in season though.
He said, "I have no thoughts."
He's so sorry.
He said, "I'm not firing anybody else."
He's like, yeah, there might be some.
I'm not going to fire anyone else.
He's like, there might be some analysts and stuff that I tell to go get real jobs, but
I'll give you guys a chance. I know you guys want to tweet that out and get that out, so I'll give you guys a second to get it. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I get it.
Oh, he's something else. There's only not one. There were several things I was tickled about.
Yeah, what do we got?
Let's
get into it.
No, you go first. I'm in a total mood. I need to grow up.
I thought, honestly, so the thing that I was.
Do you guys like my all gray? It looks kind of dumb, doesn't it?
You got the gray.
I think it's awesome.
This is not a onesie. This is like not.
I know we tried to get you to wear a onesie on Halloween. You wouldn't do it.
I was not thinking correctly.
It's all right. The maroon vest breaks it up enough. I think you're okay.
I'll be changing when I get home.
Breaks up. Well, you got to shower again too.
I should be good.
Get that shampoo out of your mouth.
No, it's just a toothbrush, and I got some soft, sorry mouthwash too.
Really?
I went for once alcohol free because I have to be cognizant of Zoe.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even work.
Yeah, I don't like the alcohol free ones.
No, I'm sure there's good alcohol free that works.
I've never had one.
But
personally,
you know, there's the one brand I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
But I take a couple for the team because there's some kid friendly ones. But the one I really like is like expensive though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It has the medicine top, like you're gonna pour a drink in it.
Yeah.
And I don't even think some you can't even give to kids under 12.
Yeah.
Zoe comes in and she said, "Bob said I can't have that one." It's like I should probably read better. It tastes good to me.
Travis says, or no, who said that? Oh, Todd said, as long as you don't have a butt flap, you're good.
What's that?
It's like on the onesies. They have like on kids' onesies, they got like the little...
Yeah, see, I'll never do that. I mean, I'm afraid of guns anyway, but one reason is that I won't be in blinds or when it's cold and I'm not doing the whole...
Yeah.
Yeah, I need convenience. not those outfits that keep people warm do not... Like, how are you coming out of those in some sort of a hurry?
I don't think you are.
Pass.
I think you're just holding it.
We're out here. Gonna go ahead and pass.
Sid said when he clarified why he was at those Little League games had me dying. That was funny. Dude. When Sip was like, "Did you know somebody at the games?"
Yeah, like, and I love Sip. Like
the look he gave him was like, my
he has a really good memory too. So like when I sent him that text, I said I'm just gonna send him something to get him to respond. I told you what I said, right?
Yeah.
I go, you strike me as a guy that has poor hygiene, and his response was, and he's on air, and he's like, surprisingly, I'm well aware of my hygiene. And yes, the day that I was down there for the recruiting special, I took the long way. I got off on 10th, but I didn't take the first left.
Okay.
Or I got off on OQ, whatever. I didn't take the first left to get on 10th. I went down to 13th where I passed their studio. And I honked. And I called him, and he wouldn't answer. He's on air, and I'm calling because people do it to me all the time. So I just felt like being childish because I can clearly hear him.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's going to go to break. I wonder what the delay is. So I'm just calling.
Yeah.
And he calls back. It's like 6:58. And he's like, why are you calling me? And I go, oh, I just wanted to see if you'd answer the phone. And a couple of expletives. He goes, and I honked. I go, hey, I'm out here. And he goes, I'm walking in the lobby. I was like, oh, he's a child like I am. That's kind of cute.
That was funny. He's like, did you know somebody playing in those games? Yeah, my daughters.
He goes, I can't believe you asked me that.
It'd be kind of creepy otherwise, huh?
Yeah. It's very.
I just like.
I told you those Sunday interviews, the time frame was off, right?
Yeah.
And I get it. I mean, people are kind of just reporting what they're. I'm like, that guy's a week behind.
Yeah.
Because I knew he had to work fast because he was. I mean, wanted to make a move fairly quickly, it seemed, defensively, because he had some guys in mind.
How fast are we working on D-line, coach? Anything you'd like to share with the class?
I mean, maybe. I don't know, man. I told you the vibes I got Wednesday at the special. I was like, yeah, that didn't feel right. It's a little stuffy in here. Be over here with the common folk. You guys do that over there.
Yeah, this is a little awkward.
I was busy digging burritos out of the trash.
I wish that was a joke.
Dude, they were fire. He ate the second one a day later. Ask him when you see him. Say, Breeze, were those burritos good?
I'm not talking about taste. Not talking about taste. I'm talking to what
I hate when you talk to me like
It's your own question.
I mean, literally.
What how do you classify the delivery when he is just so frustrated he goes, I'm not talking about taste. Like
I use the term exasperated.
Like there's no way you could have kids.
What I'm talking about is what happened to you after that 2-day-old cheese take. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you gotta understand though.
I picked that yesterday in the fridge because I changed containers. It was not fitting correctly, so I put it in one that fits better in the fridge. Oh, I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna warm it up in the microwave.
I'm just glad you finally put it in the fridge.
Yeah, I made a ribeye or a cowboy cut.
Probably too
ribeye.
late, but
It was
we're all right.
incredible. Like I mean, really incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you eat it all?
No. No.
Did you put it away?
Yeah.
Where? Microwave? Oven?
Top of the stove.
Come on, man.
I'm not reheat. It's a beautiful color. I'm not messing around. I may put it like in the oven and bring it up slow in some foil at like 220.
Okay.
What?
It's fine.
I'm gonna eat it today.
It's fine.
It's fine. You're doing too much.
I'm not. You're talking
leftover steak.
24 hours just out?
It came off the smoker at like 5:40, so not even.
So when are you going to leave it out? Or when are you going to eat it? You're not going to eat it till like noon at best.
Probably after counseling.
So pretty close to 24 hours at that
1:15.
point.
We're under the threshold.
No, you're still 16 hours over the threshold.
The thermostat's only on 68.
That's not the safe zone temperature. You gotta get below like 40, man. That thing would have to be in your bedroom overnight. Then it would be fine.
Yeah.
With that window open. It's about 34 in there.
Fair. It's fair.
If you start keeping food in there, I won't say another word.
Kobe is typing at me in caps. What is Kobayashi Sadaki saying?
He says, no, he's not doing too much. You have to refrigerate meat regardless if it's cooked. Thank you, Kobe. We can unite on this.
What are you two doing being friends? It's
handshake meme.
I guarantee you, of 60% of your male friends would be the exact same way. If you asked them. If they're just keeping it a buck.
I don't think so. I think you're way.
Have you ever seen anybody cook bacon in the morning and they don't finish it all and they just eat the like cold strips all day or something?
No.
Really?
Also,
I could be weird. I don't know.
I think this is a reasonably unique to you thing.
I don't.
I'm not saying you're the only one. I think you are in more of a minority than you realize.
If my offensive line coach wasn't in class, I bet there's people out there.
I'm sure there are.
Lots.
Lots is aggressive. Also,
one out of two. I bet you 1 out of 2.
No. Also, for what it's worth,
Focus group, straw poll.
Depending on what type of bacon
like
it is,
like
because of how it's cured and processed,
study?
because of how the bacon's cured and processed, you're probably better off with bacon than most things.
Justin agrees. He said you can leave bacon out for days.
Yeah, bacon's different because of the
Justin is my friend.
Because of the curing and
The rest of
processing.
you guys?
It's sort of like like a pepperoni or a salami or something. You got a little more leeway on those.
I was looking for something in particular yesterday, Shane, and I thought of you. At some point, we better get to the press conference and actual sports. And why is Nebraska only a 1.5 point favorite tonight? But is that not weird?
Against Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were dogs opening, weren't they? I think they were down. I think they were.
I get it. Wisconsin's
They're pretty good. I thought they were 1.5 point dogs to start. I thought. I might be wrong.
I have to get back into that when we start talking sports. But Shane, I thought of you yesterday, and I looked at the prices, and I don't shop like that, so I don't know if this is legit or not. So I need, which apparently, according to the chat, I need somebody smarter than me, which is 95% of the people crushing me today, which appreciate your guys' friendship. Go me. I was looking for a particular type of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So it's packaged. It's back in this aisle.
Yeah, they were dogs yesterday.
And so I'm in another area of like pre-made. It's over by where you can get stuff for charcuterie boards and stuff like that. So there's this pre-made meal section.
Okay.
Shane, didn't you buy a breakfast sandwich or breakfast that was already done from a said grocery store before?
Yeah, I just did that yesterday. I went grocery shopping yesterday.
Okay, and they're pretty good, right?
Yeah, I got a couple of them.
I can't believe what they ready make meals for.
What do they do?
They have everything. I mean, from small portions of smoked meat to sandwiches to French toast to
French
pot
toast, really?
stickers. Yes.
Huh.
Like if you want they had chicken strips and mashed potatoes.
I got one of those yesterday.
That's what I told you. I'm like, this has to be super convenient, but isn't it expensive or you don't care? You just want what's easy.
I mean, it's like $7 and I can get 2 meals out of some of those.
Would you pay $3.99 for a store fresh? It's not fresh because it's obviously in the refrigerated section, but they're making it there, right? Good ingredients. Would you pay $3.99 for a breakfast sandwich?
Yeah.
It seems high.
Not if you're used to buying breakfast sandwiches like in fast food places. It's not high for that.
Shane, they had everything. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I will say, here's the thing.
If you wanted an omelet with hash browns, if you wanted a fried chicken, if you wanted pork tender, like everything they had in these little individual deals. I walked around that area for like 6 minutes and I was just like, I wonder if I bought 2 and made it myself. I'm just making a dumb game out of it, like in terms of pricing.
You're trying to do the math on it.
Yeah.
Well, and
but the convenience has to be incredible.
The convenience is good, and some of the stuff, like I probably wouldn't go through 12 eggs. I mean, I'd maybe hit like 9 or 10 before I'd have to, so
God,
I can just.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I mean.
That really?
Yeah.
You have to remember, Shane doesn't eat very much, and
I got a
just
cardboard
eating
egg
for himself
in a Ziploc bag ready now.
Right.
And it's in the fridge. I'm not messing with.
Eggs is where you draw the line?
Yes.
That's it's not seafood, it's eggs?
Yes. So convenience, you get a variety of stuff. You get more than just like eggs. You get the other stuff that comes with it in the meal.
So let me ask you
something.
The pancakes and French toast and stuff.
I wouldn't go for those. Those I would stay away from.
So you're probably
that's
getting
gonna
those
be dry
out in the morning, right?
That's gonna be I don't know how they like. To me, when you reheat those things, like it's gonna dry out. I'm not gonna like that. I don't think.
You got the chicken. How long are you rocking with mashed potatoes that are in those deals?
Oh, they're good until the date.
Mashed potatoes.
Get 5-6 days off that.
Oh, I didn't even look at the date thing. I just looked at the prices.
I'm stunned.
The stuff I got.
First of all, I can't read.
I'm stunned that you were not concerned
Dude,
with
those
expiration
dates are
dates.
little.
The
This is enough just to see the price.
the 2 dates that on the 2 items I got was the 15th and the 16th. So 5-6 days.
Wow.
Oh, so you got some time on it.
So you have to be.
So you don't want to be eating the 16th one on the 16th. It's not going to be as good, but it just
Dude, they had
you got time.
an omelet in there over hash browns that covered like the whole platter. It was big.
Yeah. I'm not a
But
big.
I don't know if I'm just gonna take an omelet home and redo. I get it. You're gonna draw the line at eggs. Yeah.
I'm not a big microwaved eggs guy. I don't like my eggs to be like cooled and then heated up again. So I kind of get that.
Yeah, I watch you eat cold eggs.
I know. Sometimes you gotta do what you listen.
Burrs did it every other day, and it would gross me out. He would meal prep and just eat them when he ate them.
Yeah, I don't like that.
He couldn't, because I'm like, well, shoot, I can be an iron gut too. It's very competitive.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's my least favorite part. There's a good. I mean, you've seen me do this before. Half the time, I'll take the egg off once it's cold. I'm not trying to do that. I will say somebody, I don't remember who it was, was like, hey, enough with the food talk. Let's get back to sports. I got to tell you, when people tell me what to do, like, I think I've got something wrong in my brain.
Yeah, you're like Coach Rhule. You're going to do the opposite?
Yeah, because I'm just going to be like, I was like, I can spend 3 hours not saying a word about sports. I got lots of feelings on a lot of things.
Should probably talk sports.
I feel like,
when you do it for 300 days a week or a year,
yeah,
it's
like sometimes you're going to get some stuff that's not sports. Sorry, guys.
Come on, guys.
I think it was your boy, too.
Who?
Terrence.
Oh, T-Mac?
Yeah.
No, T-Mac has his nerve. We talk about everything under the sun.
And he's been around. He should know better.
I sent him a Instagram reel yesterday.
Oh, he said it was a joke. Sorry, Terrence. All right, sorry. Some people say it for real, and I'm like, guys.
Wait, why are you trying to appeal to my sense of get on my team? It's your boy. Like if I liked him versus I didn't like him.
No, I thought maybe you need to text him and be like, hey, what's up? Like, what's going on here, bud?
Oh, you think I'm drawing the line at a food take? He crams Texas down my throat incessantly.
Yeah.
And poor sports comparisons. You can't make excuses for Nebraska. That's his thing.
I don't make excuses for Nebraska. I have expectations for Nebraska. And everybody gets mad at me.
Well, I think they just like being mad at you.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I get it. I'm very easy to get mad at. And that's okay. I can live with that.
I'm with you, K-Jam. It does feel short.
What?
He said we need an extra hour.
Oh.
I say that every day.
Yeah,
and I don't even like my job.
You like your coworkers, right?
I like the people at the office.
You like Shane?
He's fine.
You like Sasha?
She's cool.
You don't like Rico most days?
Nah, he's growing on me. Rico's problem is I started out with too high expectations. Like I liked him a lot early, and then I was like, oh, he's not very nice. I don't like him at all. And then he's like, he's okay again. But he couldn't reach what I was thinking.
You came in way too hot. That's a you problem.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get
him.
you.
It's not him. So I'm cool. Yeah, Rico's fine.
What about Austin? How do you feel about Austin today?
I like Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah.
He had a funny interview. He's figuring it out what it's like to interview people that don't enjoy being interviewed.
Was that one of the big Game Chain ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that very school that I'm talking about had the famous interview after they beat Prep in like 12 or 13 where he's like, yeah, I just can't do this.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, where are you going?
Oh, see ya.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm good here.
Enjoy your bye.
Hey, good win. Birdcage is a tough place to play.
Congrats.
See ya.
God bless.
God, serious. Yeah, I just can't do this. I was like, guys, back to you.
Honestly, I respect it. Like I do.
Wait.
Like, a lot of kids will sit there and just be like, yeah, no, it was a great team win. Yeah, no, I thought we played well. I get it. They haven't done a lot of these, but this guy's like, I can't do this. I'm out.
See, that's why I encourage everybody.
I kind of respect it.
Coach Sikora was driving back from a strength and conditioning deal in Chicago, and I sent him the link to the recruiting highlight.
Ooh, Sikora, big strength and conditioning nerd.
That's what he does.
Oh, we should.
Dude, he wins national awards.
Oh, I want to talk to him. Can I just follow him around? I love nerding out on strength and conditioning. It's like one of my things.
Go look at the new facility. He would love that stuff. This dude could talk about the body and nutrition, and you think I nerded out over Van Poppel?
Oh, I will nerd out on some strength and conditioning stuff.
That is Coach. He wins like a national award every year.
Oh man,
this dude goes to like. He's like, I'm going to go to a conference. I'm driving back from Chicago. I need something. What are you doing in Chicago? Strength and conditioning. I was like, figures.
Oh, man.
But I sent him the links.
Yeah.
Because remember, I couldn't figure out what he was asking me?
Yeah.
It was the recruiting interviews.
Yes.
And to your point about interviewing young people, like go back and listen to.
Oh, it's hard.
No, go back and listen to Danny Odom.
Oh, yeah.
Kobe knows what I'm talking about because I think Kobe was in the stream.
He brought it up.
Well, I'm like, Jess goes, she was talking, and we were going to break, and she goes, oh, Kobe said in the chat something. I'm like, Kobe? I can't get away from him. So I looked because she knows how. I just learned how to operate our stream like last year. So, I don't know. I was like, Jess, how do we get to the link? And she's like, oh, my God, the football account tweeted it out. I was like, geez. So anyway.
Easy, Jess. Come on.
Well, you know what I wanted to do? She just doesn't like me enough. I wanted to give her my computer like I do.
You're like, hey, the comments went away. Can you fix it? Yeah, I got you.
And she goes, look, they're right there. And there were so many. And it was just, I was like, forget it. I can't see. I'm just going to trust you that it's my man, Kobe. Because I knew he watched it last year.
Kobe says, I'm everywhere, Husker-related, DB.
No, listen. I
believe it.
I'll roll with it. So go back and listen to Odom. Because I sent all the interviews. I think he was interested in like the offensive lineman ones and kind of what they were talking about. And it's very hard to get those guys to like expound and kind of open up. But you can tell a lot if you can get it out of them. And I told that's one of Jess's strengths. Like she's really disarming when it comes to because it's hard to interview young people.
It is. It is really hard.
It's not always a ton of fun, right? But like Waterman, the guys were just what's his buckets reclassed, but because he reclassed, he can't enroll until
until the spring.
He has
summer.
He can't come until the summer. But he got like all the workouts ahead of time. Was it Waterman? No,
it was Ainsworth.
Ainsworth.
Yeah, because he would have been
super smart,
and he also would have been higher rated.
And they're like having class. These conversations. I'm like, this dude is 16 and going to be 17.
That's wild.
But go back and listen to Odom. Nayland Scott, dropping. They used to be a D lineman. Like it was. I like those. That's how I figured out Mosey's personality.
Oh yeah.
I listened. I paid really close attention to those interviews, and I was like, "Yep, he just likes playing."
Gonna like that guy.
Yeah, that's kind of now. It's early because I don't know him yet. That's kind of how I feel about Larry Miles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, when I told you he gives me Santana Moss vibes, it's not just his film. Santana Moss was like a menace.
Yeah. He's about that life.
And he wanted you to know, you think I'm like same air. Like he gives me his film looks mossy. But go back. I still have the link.
You sent them to me.
You'll be and then you go back and listen to Coach Raiola and it's like, that's a tough decision. Because you don't really know until you have those sit downs.
Yeah.
But then once you have those sit downs, it's like, I think I'm gonna be moving pretty quick on this.
Yeah.
That's why you never want to get caught with the smoking gun.
Yeah.
I
I
think defense was a little more proactive than how the offense evolved, but you had a good offensive line.
So did you catch yesterday?
I caught a lot. Would you like Shane to play one of the clips or would you like to take a break first?
I don't know if he's
Terrence, is this cool? We got back to sports. Even though your boy doesn't feel good because he swallowed shampoo and conditioner this morning.
And apparently he was joking, so it's cool.
Are you sure?
He said he was joking. I believe him.
I don't know, man.
I believe him.
He's kind of an intimidating looking guy.
I think he understands the show enough to to have it have been a joke.
Kobe said I'm everywhere.
I think I don't remember exactly how he phrased it, so I don't know what clip
He
to call
did.
for.
He did. He got on me on the pork thing.
Yeah. Dank liked Mpume. He says, I like football because I get to hurt people. I don't get in trouble.
So I'm 99.9% sure, and I'm not going to get on you because most people don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just Puma.
Oh, okay. Kind of like a Winery thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Which people still say his name wrong.
Yeah.
It drives me off the wall.
Williams Winery. You think it's just Puma?
I'm rocking with Jess on that one because she's like.
Is that what she was saying?
Yep. And
Okay.
she's super particular about that.
Okay. I mean, she's better at that job than I am, so she
super-
probably is right.
But she's really the only one because everybody else, I mean, even in the recruiting circles, they say, I don't think you say the M.
Okay.
I don't. But Shane, text her and ask her. She probably, and I ain't texting this early because she ain't probably ain't.
Why are you calling me?
Well, you heard it. What? I was like, geez, man, I'm going for Robbie, not for me.
Were you asleep? Yes.
He is.
My day off.
His athleticism, he's exciting.
Puma?
And now that.
He's like a true tackle, too. That's nice.
Well, they have three of them.
Yeah. Ainsworth.
They have. I think all three of those
In this
guys
class?
are natural tackles.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yeah, and that was sort of the.
Now, one could move inside. One in particular, I think, could move inside. But,
Yeah.
Waterman and Puma they look like tackles.
Yeah, they're like tackles.
Yeah.
Which is nice. One of the things that stuck out with, and you brought this up with Coach Royale and how that might have been a tougher decision, was
DBJ. I think we're gonna have to go have a ginger ale.
I think the fit with stylistically what Dana wants to do and how that needs to be coached and blocked on the offensive line was a much bigger deal than people kind of made it out to be.
Yeah.
He sort of intimated it yesterday. I think he said something about. He said the way Jeep Wade coaches offensive line fits Dana's scheme or style. I forget what word he used. So we didn't directly say that Raiola's didn't.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna extrapolate that a little bit and say
I
that
think
there's
that liberty is fair.
a better fit in terms. And I think
Because he just wasn't that was one of the.
I don't think personally.
I want you.
Go ahead.
Not me.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you see him again, ask him how hard that decision was
Mm.
as a professional. Because I think he went with the consensus because it's what was needed.
Mm-hmm.
He could have made the case to the contrary.
Yeah. I think he liked how Donnie operated.
Yeah.
I think that's why he kept him in the first place.
And I also think the other thing that he kept intimating was recruiting.
Yes.
Recruiting.
He brought that up with Jeep Wade. There's another guy that's allegedly might be joining. He hinted at yesterday. The rumor is that it's Lonnie Teasley from South Carolina, who is an incredible recruiter. So that would go into what he talked about in terms of recruiting the position at a high level. I don't think he wants to rely on transfer portal for anyone, but especially linemen on either side of the ball. I think he really wants to get those guys in the program, develop them for 2 years, then cut them loose and not cut them loose, let them loose.
So this is totally. Do we have to take a break because we're rolling now?
Keep rolling.
Just right before BC.
So
we're fine.
The last 2 weeks, I was talking about, planning a 1 versus 3 and a 3 or forward. I brought up again the Riley Van Poppel thing, and I'm like, do you got I think D-line, defensive guys kind of knew what I was getting at, right? Where it just feels different playing along different techs in the line and where doubles come from. And I was like, oh, that's the kind of person that you want talking to you as a coach, because then you can play to their strengths. Then I told you I got the question last week in Nebraska City that threw me for a loop with the guy that likes the Chiefs. He's an O-line, D-line guy. And I go, he asked me something that gave me pause. And I had to think about it for a second when he said, do I think, because I was big on the aggression and hand fighting and taking on
violence
with pullers. And
which Coach Rhule brought up multiple times.
So the whole thing, I'm feeling good. I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. Because we didn't talk about, Coach Rhule and I didn't talk about this. But there's a way, and unless he's like listening and like, yeah, what he said, but he's smart. Like, he's going to do his own thing.
I mean, if you saw it, he probably saw
it. And people that like defense will say the same thing. What I'm saying is it novel. So, when we're talking about playing in a shade versus a 2 or whatever, and then I go, and if you look at the roster, like they have can you imagine a 4 down, like under over kind of front? Like they have those body types where if you want a weak side guy and he's a little smaller, it's Dylan Rogers. If you want a bigger guy on the strong side and then over front to play down, it could be Winari. And you can get back to playing with like 1s and 3s, right? You don't have to play with 2 2s. You can play with 2 2s, but your front, you can get into a system of aggression. When I see down block, because when you play head up versus in gaps, occupying versus getting vertical is different.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't leave until you feel. Some fronts, it's I see it, split it.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that. So,
which is a little bit more aggressive mindset.
What's that?
It's a little bit more aggressive of a mindset. The see it, split it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is, right? It's 2 gapping versus what sometimes Nebraska could come across as though they're 2 gapping and occupying. Sometimes it's, hey, I see a puller. We're playing this technique. Hit it, split it. You're just kind of you're a little bit of a tweener.
Hesitation.
Which is why I think the Havocs and Tiffles are down, because in odd fronts, you're in odd man short. So sometimes they would play with 4 down and guys would go, you'd use like a jack as your 4th guy. And McCullough would show or flash late. But you're still 1 gap short. So one guy either has to command the double or occupy to buy time. So you're not gapping people out right away.
Right.
Okay. That's going to look a certain way. So when Coach Rhule says, hey, our 260, 270 pound guys can now be ends.
Yeah, more natural ends.
And they don't have to play inside. That gives us a chance for development. And then that introduces guys like Malcolm Simpson and Tyson Terry, who are natural interior linemen, right? Tyson Terry is not going to want to play in a 4-tech.
No.
Tyson Terry could be really good in the shade. Tyson Terry could be really good in a 3. But you start sliding guys. You can do it in high school. It doesn't make it a good idea, right? In this game where guys play angles and tackles and guards know, hey, when I see a 4, I have a good natural angle. He better be able to do. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with 4 techniques. I'm saying it's a unique skill set to play in a 4. Ask Jared Tomich, ask Jay Moore, ask anybody. I asked Grant on statewide television. Hey, G-Dub, how would you feel about sliding along the? Nope. This is what I did. This is what I was good at. This is what I do. And I was like, what's the degree of difficulty? Because I always like to ask guys just to make sure I'm not crazy. It's why I asked Bill Bush about fitting in the run game from the secondary standpoint, or why I like the fact that, what we undersold, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you when it benefits itself. Remember how I went into this whole diatribe about Knighton and Cooper overlapping each other's coaching session at the coaching clinic?
Yep.
Very, very rare that D-line and secondary coaches stay in each other's coaching sessions. And it's not because they liked each other.
No, it's alignment.
And so I asked the very first question, and people are like, oh man, here goes this bang again. As far as and that's more my insecurity. I don't think anybody really said that. I'm like Coop, I didn't even know him like that then. I was like, Coach, it's interesting you're letting the defensive line coach speak to fitting in the run game and why you like some of these concepts. And Knighton goes, I'll take this. And This is exactly. Man, listen. This is exactly what happened. So I say all that to say, being on the same page at all the levels is crucial. We act as though it's just a given.
No.
Ask Ohio State folks what was going on with Larry Johnson and Knowles.
Yeah, last year.
Because there are some things that guys like to play, and there are some things that you're capable of playing. But at the end of the day, coaches typically teach what they know.
Yeah. And it felt like there was that disconnect this year.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And it happens way more than we think. So when Coach Rhule is talking about, I can't remember the clip, I'll find it during the break. When he's talking about stylistically and teaching a system, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah. Because the system makes sure everybody's on the same page.
Yep. And you don't have to piece it together.
Yeah.
It's
not like this piecemeal.
We play it like this here, so you can play it like this here, so you can play it like this here. And this is you're back to
that's how you get that 11 as one he keeps talking about, right?
It's everything.
Because if you've got D-line doing this, secondary doing this, linebackers doing this, like that is
and then when you don't trust, you panic.
Yeah.
And when you panic, you look unsure. And when you look unsure, you look super slow.
Or you try and play hero ball and you ruin it for everybody.
Yeah. There's a lot in there. We'll get to it.
Let's take a quick break here. We are going to talk to Brian CHRISTOPHERSON from Husker 24/7 coming up next. Maybe I'll ask him about some rumors. Maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. That's DB.
What's all these rumors?
I was more going to go. I know it's your favorite movie. I was more going to go Inglourious Bastards with Christoph Waltz. Rumors?
Man, that movie is really, really bad.
I'm going to be honest. This might be a you problem. It's pretty universally liked. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
I think that there's a lot of things that went into this. You know, none of the opponents that we've played at this point have looked at our roster and said, okay, there's, 7 different kids that are capable of going for double figures, and so we're going to go to a junk defense and try to pull one person out. And I just think that, we had some easy open looks against their triangle and 2, diamond and 1 early, and we were, 1 pass, jacking up threes. We had 26 3-point attempts in the first half, and I thought we were kind of just playing into maybe what their hands were instead of getting our paint touches, working for things inside, outside, moving the basketball a little bit more, and then taking those good shots. And so I think that's a part of it.
Citrus Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Citrus Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
I think the guys we have coming back next year, and again, we all know that there's, things change and all that, but I think like some of our guys that were like 270 pounds that had to play inside, we want them to be able to play outside. We want to have 270-pound ends. We want to have, and so I think it'll be a fit for who we are. And then, we have some of our bigger guys that are coming along and developing, and then, we have a couple really good young, like you think about, like we signed Tyson Terry and Malcolm Simpson last year and are excited about them, and they get back in the fold. And so But I think, when I look at the guys we have, I look at the Wineries, the Cam Lenharts, the Pet Shocks. Like, I say to myself, like, you get in a 4-down structure, those guys aren't having to play 3 technique. Keona to me, when I can have him go be outside and set the edge, he's going to be really good. So that 4-down structure, it fit. I thought the 3-down stuff that Tony brought was also some 4-down too. It was really good. We obviously had a lot of success with it, but we're going to kind of just move in this direction now.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill.
Does that sound familiar?
What's that?
What I've been saying for the last month.
Oh, I thought you meant Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. It sounds very familiar.
That sounds very familiar.
We're here all the time.
I don't know.
You know who else is here all the time with us on Wednesdays?
B Sizzle.
Our guy, Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. BC, what's going on, bud?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
I'm very, very outside of swallowing shampoo and conditioner this morning, which is a whole other story. I'm very good. And would you like to know why?
Yes.
Okay, good.
It'd be pretty rude if I said not really.
Well, you do keep it a buck, so you might say, let's just move on. I liked yesterday because yesterday was about football, like technical. It was like football stuff, things that I like to talk about. Playing in a 1 versus a 3 or a 2 or a 4 or a 4 down. Like when we start getting into those things, I know that we've moved on from, hey, I just got to get the right guys on the bus, like more culture to nuts and bolts. How do we get better doing the football stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe because I've been talking about that on this show for like a month. We talk scheme and that all the time. And Ravi said to me one time, because I was telling him a story, BC, about Roddy Van Poppel explaining playing different techniques. He goes, I thought you were just nerding out. And I go, no, Ravi, I'm telling you why it matters that a guy is educating me on, depending on where he plays on the line, it feels different to him taking on blocks. I thought that was very enlightening, and that was 6 weeks ago at the complex after a game, right? We're just shooting the breeze, and I was like, oh, this is interesting.
I was thinking about the players like Van Poppel in particular and what they must be feeling the last few days. And it has to be sort of I don't know. It has to be like a shot or sort of a nice reboot for some guys when it's like when there's a new guy with a new system and maybe some new ideas in place, and there's sort of excitement about how they can look at you in maybe a different way than you have been in the last year or two. And that's not for everybody, but that's got to give you sort of a jolt, I think. So I think there's probably a lot of players, especially on that defensive front, who I wouldn't doubt were sort of mentally worn out. Sort of from what you're talking about, not just by the season, but there's no way they could have missed all the conversations that went on about them and like what they should be in the scheme and all this stuff. And to sort of just flip the page from that, like you're saying, and now it's like, no, I think we could put you here and you could really have a lot of success with that. I have to think that lifts some guys right now.
BC, as you listened to Rhule yesterday, was there are a couple things that stood out to me. What was the biggest thing to you about the new hire specifically that you thought was interesting?
The most interesting thing was that to me, the part where he said he canceled interviews after talking with Rob Aurich, and just like, this is a guy basically. And also I hope people paid attention to the sounding board of like resume check names that Rhule had on this defensive coordinator, because one of them is Jason Eck.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Like
who's universally loved.
And listen, BC, gutsy for him to say that, because after Eck lands a huge job next year.
Yep. At where? I don't know. Where could he end up?
He'll be coming back to revisit Orange. So it's like Rhule can get ahead of the cost of doing business thing.
Yeah, but that part was interesting. The whole story about Orch's visit here and, you know, the non-traditional interview and going to the gym while Rhule's daughters were playing hoops at 3 games and just talking ball amidst probably like middle-aged guys yelling at refs for what should have been a travel call in the background. That was interesting, just how he was like said it blew him away, like the way Orich was even in that setting where you could easily be distracted. And I think when you listen through all the quotes, you sense that Rhule felt like they just weren't playing as fast as they had been when they first started here at Nebraska on defense this last year. And when he turned on the tape, that's what he said he fell in love with that defense. It was just like guys flying around, guys playing fast, guys who know where they're supposed to be, not thinking it through as much, just going with instincts. And I think it was just a combination of all those things that Nebraska has one of the more intriguing defensive coordinator hires since I've been covering it, and I don't say that in a bad way.
BC, I'm just telling you, I hate saying this out loud because they're a conference foe, but having sat in multiple defensive meetings of schools on the recruiting trail, our fan base would be floored at the simplicity of what Iowa does, but the intricacies of knowing what they do within that scheme are mind-blowing. It is no coincidence that they're as good as they are defensively without having to be, quote unquote, like super multiple. Now they're not cavemen, right?
Yeah.
Parker is a hell of a coach, but when you look at just the basic core principles and how they repeat it over and over again, like I can't help but to think that is the standard for how everybody should do everything, whether you're at Apple, Mutual of Omaha, or Trader Joe's, or Nebraska. Like, who are we? What do we do? Do that.
Yeah, and I think that's why Orich got hired. I think he knows what he wants his core to be, but that doesn't mean it can't be bendable. Is always the word I like to use with I think the best defensive coordinators. They have that system that's in place where guys just sort of understand it by the back of their hand once it gets taught, but there are some slick wrinkles within it without making it overly complicated, and that can be very effective as our neighbors have shown at Iowa. So he was not a coach that was on my radar or I was thinking a lot about. I certainly haven't watched the All-22 on San Diego State. But when you look at, even though it's been lower levels, every stop he's been at, when he's got that DC assignment, it's gotten better every year. And where that San Diego State defense was, even last year when he was elevated to the role he was in 25, I mean, they were a 3-9 football team. And then the next year, you're top 10 in 10 different defensive categories. That'll get your attention no matter what level you're coaching at, because it's relative. And so his resume is very impressive from everywhere he's been. I know the question's like, oh, he hasn't done it at a power conference level, but I don't know. Football's a different game now. You can find a lot of these young guys who are the next big thing who sort of skip some levels, and they do fine for themselves.
Skipping levels. I think, BC, what do you think about this? And this is to move the conversation forward, but there's, a couple references to Tony White and the evolution. I have a decent memory. So I remember when Coach Butler first came on and Coach Rhule said, hey, a little bit of an advantage that Butler has is this is kind of the third year with these guys in this 3 front. We can evolve. So I put those two things together, and I was like, okay, everybody talks about why Nebraska wasn't running around and flying and tackling like they did in 2023. Well, I'll tell you why. Number one, this is just my opinion, so this is open for dialogue. Number one, with the core structure of the framework being put in, it was predicated on playing hard and playing fast, right? Just let's just do this. This is year one. I got to implement it. Play hard, play fast, get to the ball. These are the core things we believe in. Then year 2, it was, okay, we showed this on tape. I still have these tendencies. I'll have to work on that. But in the meantime, these are a couple of new things we can do now. So they didn't quite have that mastered. So they showed flashes. They were really good at the core stuff. Still couldn't get off the field with some intricacies on like third down and stuff, because that would have been the next phase of development. Then fast forward to this year, it was, oh, okay, we have this in. We got a couple new guys, a couple new coaches, but we fast forwarded to the next phase of the next phase. You know what I mean?
Yep, I got you.
So is that plausible that that's what's happened over the last 3 years defensively for Coach Rhule that he's trying to rectify now?
Yeah, you explained it really well. You were sending up the game. You were like to I had the hardest time beating Super Mario Brothers as a kid. Everybody else could beat it, but like the defense was like ready to be like an 8-2, maybe level 8-2 of the original Mario Brothers. But you had some guys coming in, and maybe they're in the level 3-3, like of figuring some stuff out. I do think there was a mismatch there. That was a weird example I pulled out of my brain. But that's how this brain works. But yeah, you explained it much better than my Mario Brothers reference. I do think it just felt like it was sort of a mixed up combination of things coming together, trying to pull it off this past year. And I think you're right. I think there's a reboot going on, and I think there's going to be a certain emphasis to make sure like that doesn't happen again, and you feel like everybody's sort of on that same page and working on the same level. And so is a real good opportunity here to recalibrate now, and on both sides of the ball, honestly. And so that's what's happening, and it's going to be really interesting to see how they can pull it off.
You guys believe how much, and this is totally, I'm just thinking out loud here. How much do you think, because we're talking about philosophy and getting back to the basics and a reboot, how much do you think talking to Aurich in public with a lot of other things going on around was good for both of them? Not only could Coach Rhule test himself to see, okay, can you give it to me simple, as if I was 18, 19, 20 learning for the first time, and can you explain it with chaos around you, and we both feel like we learned? I wonder if Coach Rhule was like playing the guinea pig of, could he get it too?
Yeah. In that
under weird situations, because that helped him see if the kids could get it as well. I don't know. I'm just it wouldn't surprise me, because he put himself in weird situations intentionally, and it might have been for both of them, not just him.
Yeah, I think so. To see, like, can you process in this situation? Can you do it fast and explain it in a manner that is simplistic enough that I can get it? Well, there's all this stuff going on too. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. It's sort of a strange place on the surface to do an interview, but probably loosened up Aurich on that part, honestly, when you're in that sort of environment where you have to think like that. And obviously he did really well. I mean, that seriously was what jumped out at me. Like, I know there was all the news Saturday about what was going to happen. Another name was in the air. In the meantime, you've got this guy in town who is obviously killing his interview to a point that the head coach says, we got our guy. You don't have to go further than this. And that's a great feeling when you actually have more interviews on your slate still after that, and you're like, I don't need him. This is the dude. I have that connection with him, the way he explained it to me, the way we conversed off each other. And so whatever Aurich did in that interview, that should be the template for how a coach does it, because he obviously knocked it out of the park.
BC, if you were in Coach Rhule's shoes and you were making decisions this offseason, which would have been the hardest for you based on what we know happened? Getting rid of John Butler, getting rid of Terry Braden, or getting rid of Donovan Raiola?
Probably Donovan Raiola, because he's so well respected within his room. I think his temperament and just the way he does his job sort of fits. You go back to when he was retained, And I'll always remember Rhule saying there's something to be said for a guy amid, you talk about chaos and stuff going on. You can remember that December when a new staff's coming in and a guy just puts his head down and is like going to work. Like next day, it's Wednesday. This is what I'm doing on Wednesday, no matter what's going on. And I just think they really respected the fact that players would do anything for Donnie. And there were a lot of guys who stood on the table for him to stay. And so, yeah, he has a lot of history here. And, he did some good stuff. They got better as a line this season. There was that stretch in mid-October where it was rough for the whole offense, and you've piled up 25 sacks in 7 games allowed, and you're like dead last in the country. Everybody's taking their shots at you. It's tough to, get up from that and respond as they did in November. And they had some good stuff against Iowa. I thought it was one of their better games up front. So I think for a variety of reasons, it was the hardest. Terry Braden sort of got caught up in sort of what we were talking about earlier. I think it was kind of a difficult spot for him, but it was probably the right move for this program right now to obviously let the DC have his guy there, whoever that may be.
BC, when you're taking a look at the overarching thing to get better for 2026, can you envision it with the staff tweaks depending on what happens without knowing the personnel? Because I think ultimately we'd like to be able to get to that point, wouldn't we? Where it's a little more plug and play-ish.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Now they're going to have to nail it still in the portal and get some of those some difference makers to supplement what they got. But absolutely what you're saying, it's got to get more like that over time. And I do take Rhule at his word and believe him, whether people want to hear it or not. He thinks they have a lot of players in this program right now that are very close.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the first topic we were talking about. Yeah. Maybe some of them, it's just like, maybe it's just a little bit, you're doing something a little bit different, or we're going to ask something a little bit different of you, but we think it can fit you perhaps a little bit better than it has in the past, or we're going to tweak this or that. But there is a true belief that they can still be this development program. And they've got a lot of these, we've talked about it ad nauseum, 91 players it was, who were sophomores or younger. Some of them, there'll be a few that head out the door. That's the way it goes. That's fine. That's our era. But there's a lot of guys, especially on that defensive front. There's guys in that secondary who are just around the corner. I think that Matt Rhule thinks. And if they can get this defense a little bit more on the same page, you're going to see them take even a bigger jump. Now they got to go do it. I mean, they got to go show that. And I want to be careful this whole offseason. Like, we don't build up just this overhype about what it's going to be. But I do think probably for all those guys that are on the defensive side of the ball, it's a really exciting time right now to see what this new guy's about and how they could fit. It makes December really interesting around here. You got that going on defense, and then the offensive line with a lot of those same type of players in that part of their career trying to, show themselves the Jeep way. It's not a boring bowl season at all in Lincoln.
BC, can I ask you about rumors here for a second?
What's all these rumors?
Sure.
You seem like a big rumor guy, BC.
Yeah. Well, he does help operate a message board, so I figure it's. So I'm just curious. Obviously, the name that has been thrown out there a lot on defensive line is Elijah Robinson. He's one of the best in the country. He's got the connection to Rhule. Just in your personal opinion, what percentage chance do you think that actually happens?
Ooh, Elijah.
Oh man, I hate the percentage question, Ravi.
If there's another way you'd prefer to answer,
BC,
I'm open to it.
He makes me uncomfortable all the time, man.
That's just my general essence.
If
there's a way you prefer to answer it, you feel free.
I mean, I think you can't discount Nebraska because Nebraska's got funds to play ball with people. I mean, the strength coach just got a pretty good pay hike in October, and they could make some things work to present a pretty good competitive salary for a guy like that. I don't discount it because of the connection that Rhule has with Elijah, and going back to their Temple days and a little bit of Baylor. I think it's elbows out still as of right now when I'm talking, and I know Penn State's sort of been mentioned as a possible suitor, and even Texas A&M's a name that's now been thrown out there. And so when it's like that, sort of like it was with the DC Friday night, Saturday morning, you might think like something is sort of going a certain way, or even if it's going Nebraska's way or the other way, but you just can't you can't be real confident about that stuff, because I wish somebody would write a book with coaches at some point, like talking about some of the best 11th hour like coaching negotiations and decisions they've had, because I just think that would be entertaining for a lot of us to read. And this is one of those cases probably where there's all sorts of stuff going on.
BC, so much for the quiet offseason, because a couple weeks ago I was like, hey, Nebraska just needs to have a quiet offseason. But after the bowl game, they can temper it down and just go back to work, right? This is just part of what happens in December. Is your glass half full that Coach Rhule appears to be pretty proactive and hell-bent on trying to fix this thing?
Yeah. I mean,
well, you just hear he created the mess, and it's like, you know what, guys, as lifelong learners, like, you're not going to get everything right, but be self-aware enough to see where you can fix it.
I like how proactive he was he sort of saw what he wanted quickly. I think you have to do that in December now, because guys get snatched up really fast. I think he loves his defensive coordinator hire, so there should be optimism about that. I understand, and we're going to have this talking season for 8 months about, Aurich hasn't done it at this level, and that whole thing is going to be there for 8 months. That's just the way it is, and that's fine. That goes with it. We'll see what he does. We'll see if he can produce a good defense or not. But it's an exciting hire as you get more into it, to just see what a guy who is such an up and comer does with it. And so I think that adds some juice to it now that you have the name in place. I think whoever the D-line hire is, that's going to add something as well. You're just going to be kind of excited to see how that works, whether it is like the biggest fish, that people can think of for that hire, or it's somebody that's connected closely to Aurich, where he can play off them because they know each other so well. That's useful too. So I think that'll get people sort of a pep in their step a little bit. And then, I think there's a little bit of a jolt the last few days, just because there's some names in place. And I think people like the fact that, like, that they're on the ground. You got the new DC in Lincoln. You got the offensive line coach, looking at the guys this December. There's always that point when that happens where it sort of is like, okay, I'm going to look at the Kool-Aid and maybe say it's half full today as opposed to half empty. I think there is a little bit of that in the last couple of days.
BC, as you kind of go through and look at what the rest of the offseason looks like, have you kind of started to think of some like check marks along the way that you'd like to see them hit, whether it's something as simple and relatively immediate as like, hey, really want to see them win this bowl game, or at least be competitive against a Utah team that poses a lot of the same problems that we saw them struggle with this year? Or like, are there things that you've started to put in your mind, like, hey, this would be these are things I want to see in the offseason?
Yeah, we can start with the bowl game, because I don't want to talk past this game. I know not everybody. There's people who just want to poo-poo it and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, we're doomy and gloomy.
I think it's one of the more interesting bowl games because of what we've been saying in this segment with the new guys, especially on the O-line. But also, I mean, think about like the running back storyline. Can one of those guys, sort of emerge in that game when he actually gets like 15 touches as opposed to 2 or 3? And what does that look like? That can add some excitement. So that's one thing you're looking at, sort of not saying that you can't add to the competition in the portal or something like that. Of course you could. You should be thinking about that in all areas. But this is a huge few weeks for a lot of guys in this program. It's a spring ball before spring ball for them to put some stuff out there and develop in front of their coaches, and then go against a really good team and show how motivated they are. And also, the last bite is the one people always remember the most. Like, it was a really sour taste to end this regular season. But if you go play really well and you go toe to toe and some young guys kind of step up in that game against Utah, that is going to be a nice little trampoline into 26, whether people want to say that or not. I totally believe that.
Yeah, I love it because, if I would just tell the guys, listen, man, you just be the best version of you and see what happens. Like, this is a perfect opportunity to put all the things that you talk about as a staff into practical application, right? Where you block out the background noise because nobody thinks you have a chance anyway. This is about and then I do think Nebraska fans will rally and travel. Like, they're going to travel because they're competitive and they're going to protect their guy. It's like talking about your siblings, right? Only you get to talk about them, but we're going to go protect them.
Well, and Rhule kind of throw down the gauntlet too. It's like, I expect to set a record for attendance at the bowl game.
Well, even though I don't think we're very confident about the matchup, it's a good chance to put the players' mettle to the test because you're going to play the guys that want to be playing, and you're going to practice in a way that gives everybody an opportunity to play based on that. Yeah. Right? This isn't going to be about real complicated schemes and methodology. This is about who wants to be out here and put their body on the line for 4 quarters.
You know what I can't stand? We'll talk about like this team for 365 days, and they'll be I can stand that part. The part the part I can't stand is, so sometimes they'll be like in the fall camp or something, there'll be like a little practice that's open to the media or something, like an event where they can watch it. And we make a big deal about that. It's like, that we get to see to take a peek behind the curtain and look at these guys. And then when there's actually a 13th data point for a game, like an actual game,
we're like, nah,
against Utah, we act like that's not interesting. Not everybody, some people. Like,
I have never thought about that.
How stupid is that? I mean, we talk about like, we got access to like a spring practice in April, and we're kind of like excited about like looking what a O-lineman, how he looks like coming out of the, locker room. This is a game against Utah. It's like if you're playing Scrabble against your mom, you should want to win and be kind of into the game, like fired up to do it. They should have a lot of motivation for this game, and there's a lot of younger guys who want to make their mark and show they're going to be a big part of it in 26. We can't deny there's implications, with the portal and stuff, like how certain things go can affect decisions with that. There's so many storylines that are connected to this game that I'm just kind of locked in on it. I'm actually excited to go out there.
There you go. That is our guy, Brian CHRISTOPHERSON, Husker 24/7 BC. Appreciate the time as always, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, B.
That is Brian CHRISTOPHERSON, Husker 24/7. Going to take a quick break here and then talk to our guy, Kevin Suits from 1011 News in Lincoln. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
As it relates to us, I've addressed one thing. We've let 3 coaches go. Don't foresee letting anyone else go. Obviously, Coach Butler, I discussed with you guys. Donovan Raiola, who worked his butt off for us for 3 years, an amazing man, great football coach. Made the decision to go in a different direction, just as we try to take another step offensively and just kind of go in a different manner. But I have to thank him for all that he's done, and no one's worked harder, and very appreciative to him. And then let Terry Braden go as the defensive line coach. And so we're actively pursuing what we'll do defensive line wise. Thank Terry for his work and his time here.
I thought the preparation that we had all week really led to the really the full game, the 40 minutes. We worked on our starts a lot over the week, and I thought that carried over. And, it wasn't only the first half start. We talked about the second half start. And we've done a solid job with the second half, with the exception of the New Mexico game, where they came out and, threw a haymaker at us, and we finally recovered in the last 10 minutes. But we talked how important it was to get off to good starts. Out of the gate, the first 5 minutes of both halves, and it was 15-2 in the first half. It was 9-3 in the second half, and we pushed that lead up to 20 pretty quickly in the second half, and then we just kind of survived and hung on from there. So, that just shows you what happens when you can come out, get off to a good start. You build yourself a cushion as opposed to having to climb out of that hole, which is a dangerous game to play. It's going to be very important again tomorrow. I anticipate a crowd very similar to what we had against Creighton, which was a huge factor, I think, in our start and for the energy that was in that building. I really do think that helped us all the way along.
At Centris Federal Credit Union, we have the tools and resources to help our members fulfill their financial goals, with a focus on building a stronger community for the next generation of leaders. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Kevin Suits from 1011 News in Lincoln. Kevin, how are we doing this morning?
Doing well. Good morning to you, boys.
Kevin, what's the schedule? We got 2 top 25 hoops teams. We've got volleyball on Friday. Like, are you spread thin, or you glad that with Nebraska volleyball at home, it's at least a little convenient?
Yeah, volleyball at home definitely changes the game from a schedule standpoint, coverage standpoint here in Lincoln. I guess I would answer it by sounding like a coach. We're taking it one day at a time, not one game at a time, one day at a time, because we're trying to make it through today, with the focus, of course, being the big game at Pinnacle Bank Arena. And then tomorrow, all the volleyball teams roll out onto the court at the Devaney Center for practice and interviews. And then the next day, it's high school hoops, in addition to Nebraska volleyball playing that late night match, maybe around 8:30 at night or so. And what's with the whole 30 minutes after the match is done? I kind of get it, but set a time.
Yeah. Roughly around 8 o'clock. What?
We'll get there when we get there.
Tough.
Yeah.
If Nebraska, let's flip this. If Nebraska were to have played the first of the 2 matches in Lincoln on Friday, and then the following match would have said 30 minutes after the first one, that really has a window of about 90 minutes of when it could start, because Nebraska has won matches this season in an hour and 12 minutes. So, if I'm trying to plan my day and I'm a fan of Louisville, say, because that's a team that's involved in this second match, I don't know, do I need to be by the TV around 7:45 or 9:30? It's wild.
So, it's funny you bring this up, Kevin, because I think about this all the time with boxing, with the main events and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I wonder if they tell them, it's you will not go on before this time, but it could be any time after that. Because if I'm, especially if I'm going somewhere and I'm may or may not get my head beat in, literally, I feel like I would want to have a very specific schedule of how I want to feel and be prepared at that point, as opposed to being oh, just kidding. The 4 guys ahead of you got knocked out. You're on 2 hours early. Good luck, bud. I'd no. Be I'm going to sit here till 10. Sorry.
You're like, I just showed up. I'm getting my wrist tape right now.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
I'm
we're not
ready to
even in the
go.
neighborhood.
Hey,
Right.
I
Not
think
right.
you know one thing I will like on the other side. I like afternoon or unconventional start times for sports.
Ooh, I do like daytime sports. I love daytime
like
sports.
daytime volleyball and
Or late night. If I get like a post 10 p.m. start, like that's why Pac-12 Dark was great.
I'm a fan of being able to watch at all out. That was the only good thing I can think of about being out in Pasadena. Kevin was like waking up and watching, Penn State and Indiana, right? Like it's like, oh, I could get used to this. So I do like that about volleyball. As you and your household are accustomed to, you could play all day if they'd let you.
Oh, well, we have played all day
Yeah.
before, and your entire day a shot. You're like, well, that was Sunday. I did nothing but sit in the gym. I went to the concession stand 7 times, and I spent over $50. We've done that.
Were you interviewing DC candidates while you were there?
You never know. They're at youth sporting events apparently, so you never know where you might see a defensive coordinator candidate. But yeah, I am pro all day sports viewing. That's good for the West Coast. It does apply to the East Coast. It just keeps you up to like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
That's why that first day of March Madness is so fun because you get the game at 11 a.m. and you're watching until late at night. And I even think back to when they used to do the 24 hours of hoops. On opening day, they would have basketball from sun up to sundown. And, Major League Baseball has kind of shifted away from that. I used to love that about opening day. You would catch like the Reds, throwing out the first pitch at like 10:45 a.m. Central Time. And then, of course, you'd have a handful of teams on the West Coast playing at 9 o'clock Central Time. And you could take that past midnight sometimes. So, I don't know. I don't want to launch into the commentary about the way the volleyball postseason is formatted in terms of its time structure and television watchability, but there are some issues that could be made, arguments that could be made there.
All right, let me ask you something. A level of didn't see that coming, but I'm going to ride the wave. Just how dominant Nebraska volleyball is statistically, right? We knew what they were coming in with, but just that they've answered the dinner bell. Top 25 in both women's and men's basketball, or the fact that coaching hires and changes have happened as quickly as they have this offseason for Nebraska football.
Ooh, you hit me with like a multiple choice question, so you've got my brain working a little bit here. I'm gonna eliminate volleyball because I don't think anybody's surprised that they're 32-0 and in the Sweet 16, so they're out. I'm going to take out
pretty
Nebraska.
dominant, Kev.
Yeah, they are, but they're really good. I mean, look at who they have on the team.
Yeah, that opponent's hitting percent. Like, pick a weird analytics stat, and it's like, wait, what? Whether you're leading the country by 30%, like, I don't know, man. I thought they were good. They're incredible.
They are incredible. Last match in the tournament, they hit 265, and everybody acted like they hit 081. It was wild. Like, no, 265 still will play. That wins you a lot of matches. Yeah. Okay, so back to your question. We're taking out volleyball because they're so good. We're not surprised that they're in the Sweet 16. I'm going to eliminate Nebraska women's basketball because I had a feeling that this team, just the makeup of that team and the style Amy wants to play, they've got some shooters. So I'm not surprised Nebraska women, and their schedule hasn't been overly challenging early in the season. I'm not surprised that they are 10-0. So that leaves me with Nebraska men's basketball being ranked in the top 25, or just the furious last 9 days of Nebraska football without a game and things happening. And I'm going to take that because it's not like it was a train wreck of a regular season. They went 7-5. Huskers reached a bowl game. Things did kind of come unraveled late in the year, and that prompted some of the changes. I guess I didn't see the volume. I didn't see 3 guys getting dismissed, when we were leaving Memorial Stadium following the loss to Iowa.
And he's not dragging his feet either.
I think that's probably it. It's like, John Butler got fired on Monday, and that was like, whoa, okay, I guess we're not messing around. And then it's the subsequent firings within, and 8-day span. 3 assistants let go in 8 days after a 7-5 regular season, and the team's trying to, transition and get ready to play in the Las Vegas Bowl. That, to me, I think is a little bit surprising. Just the timeline, the 3, and then one of those being Donovan Raiola, too.
Kevin, as you go into this weekend here, what are you looking forward to the most? What do we got going on?
Well, I'm looking forward to volleyball, but I already have an idea of what's going to happen. So there's not a whole lot of fascination.
I was going to say, I know that
you guys,
I know we can't fast forward, and I'm sure the team is not thinking this way. But if you're a Nebraska volleyball fan and you're sitting here after what the last 2 years have been, like, the season starts next weekend.
You guys, can I just say something, and then you could, Kevin,
I know
I totally
hard
give you grace because I think the world of you. Robbie's different.
I get none of that grace.
But I think I have a different level of vantage point because I think it's incredibly difficult to have super high expectations and then to be on the path to achieve them. I think we kind of take it for granted. 95 was significantly more difficult for me than 94 because of the day-to-day stay sharp kind of thing. Like Nebraska's level, when your hitting percentage is 20 some odd points better than anybody else in the country, or opponent's hitting percentage, or like we're like, Nebraska's supposed to be good. It's still hard.
Can that be true? Can all that be true? Because I think it is.
I was asking Kevin.
Well, I'm gonna give a little more context for Kevin here. Can that be true?
Thank you, Robbie.
Oh,
give me some depth here.
Can that be true for the team and the fans and for everybody? And it also be true that until they get past the point that they stumbled the last 2 years, when we also thought they were very good and very dominant,
correct,
and done that it doesn't really resonate for us until they get over that point.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I don't know if the way that we look at that question has changed over the course of the season, the dominance of it.
Mm-hmm.
If Nebraska's winning in 4 sets and, they have a bunch of deuce games over the past 3 months, then maybe it's like, yeah, let's just get to the Final Four and see what happens. But no, it's the fact that they have won so dominantly. And I'll share this with you guys too. I can't tell you the number of interviews I've been in this year with Nebraska volleyball, either players or coaches, and the phrase championship or bust comes out of the interviewee's mouth. That is wild to me.
It's crazy. They've attacked it head on.
They don't hide behind it. Sometimes, there's the elephant in the room, and both the interviewer and the interviewee kind of has to tap dance, and you're like, I don't know how I'm supposed to approach this question. And then you get the body language and the verbal message of, I don't know how I want to say this because it might get misinterpreted. No, everything is out on the table. Bergen Riley will say, we know Danny has championship or bust expectations this year, and she's handled it well. We know we have championship or bust expectations, and we keep coming in every single day trying to get better. It's like, that's this team. It's like, I don't want to call them the dream team of college volleyball, but kind of the way that they have carried themselves and performed, like they've been a little bit of a dream team. There was a team, I think this was 2008, Penn State went the entire year without losing a set. And I want to go, and Nebraska took them to 5 in the national championship. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe it's Final Four.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was the Final Four.
I need to go back and do a deep dive on that Penn State team. What was their messaging? How did they carry themselves? And, what were some of the narratives surrounding that team? Because tell me the last college volleyball team that has operated at this level of dominance. And I think that I would have to go back to maybe that 2008 Penn State team. In Nebraska, they pushed them in the Final Four, and that's pretty remarkable. So it just because you can get to the Final Four and have dominance, it doesn't make you immune. And I think that's maybe one thing that this team has they've continued to level up. And even when Danny said last week, we didn't have a very good practice, we're like, okay, so your not so good practice is probably like a desired practice for 99% of college volleyball teams, across the nation. So, I'm looking forward to Nebraska volleyball because I've said all along, make sure you enjoy the ride because this team is pretty special. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also, if Nebraska men's basketball wins tonight against Wisconsin, being 10-0 and then going on the road to face a ranked Illinois team on Saturday, that is a matchup that really fascinates me because playing in Champaign is not easy, and it's going to be one of their first true road opportunities, and it's going to be in a tough environment. And Illinois is pretty good. Look at what they did last night at Ohio State. And then, they beat Tennessee over the weekend in Nashville. And so I'm 3 o'clock Saturday. So I'm really happy that volleyball is playing on Friday and Sunday because it opens up the window to watch some hoops on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't want to fast forward just because, I watched Wisconsin and Marquette the other day. And listen, Marquette's struggling and struggled against Valpo. And Wisconsin scored 96 on them. It's a super tight line tonight, even though it's at home. But the weird thing about Illinois is I'm pretty tempted. We've talked about this for the last 10, 12 days on the show, Kevin. I'm pretty tempted to put Illinois in the Michigan State, Purdue, Michigan discussion. Most the smarter people, which is just about everybody I talk to, won't let me do that yet. But by the end of this season, and I get, Underwood and the coaching prowess and what has come with expectations in Illinois, by the end of the season, they're going to be in that discussion. That is a really, really good basketball team, and they're only going to get better. But, man, if Nebraska gets by Wisconsin tonight, I think I'm going to allow myself to think, you know what, this stuff is portable. Because it looks like it's portable on the surface. I just haven't seen it. As the competition obviously ramps up, I'll know more. But it appears that their ingredients are portable, right? Well-defined roles. They defend. Rienk Mast, I think, is going to be a tough matchup for just about anybody he sees. Like, it seems like what they're doing is portable.
I would agree with that, just because, like you mentioned, there are a lot of the roles thing can't be overstated, right? The fact that Sam Hoiberg doesn't need to score to be happy. Cale Jacobson does not need to score to be happy. My question is, as they get into the Big Ten, the defense of the opponent is going to get a little bit better, and there's going to be close games. Who's getting the ball in crunch time? And it can't just be we're going to give the ball to Rienk. You have to have option B, and I would assume that's Price Sanford. Can you score in crunch time? And I think one thing that's going to be really important tonight against Wisconsin is you have to limit second chance opportunities. Can't let them get offensive rebounds because if you give them extra possessions, then it's going to be a really it's just going to be tough to try to beat the Badgers in that regard. But what helps, I think, with this matchup, I would think the coaching staff would feel the same way, is I think Wisconsin is a little bit similar to Kansas State. John Blackwell, he's a bucket. So is PJ Haggerty. I think that there's some carryover for what they did against Kansas State to Wisconsin. Good guard play. So that's where my confidence lies with this Nebraska matchup tonight against Wisconsin, is the fact that I think the Badgers mirror Kansas State a little bit, and also they're at home with all this momentum. And I think the crowd is going to be really charged up. 8 o'clock tip-off, Wednesday night, Pinnacle Bank Arena, Huskers coming off the win against Creighton. So it's got some really special ingredients for this to be a fun night in downtown Lincoln.
We cry about volleyball start times. Can we stop having games at 8?
I hate the 8 p.m. tips. I hate it.
Is that an old man take, Kevin? Because what's wrong with 7? Can I get it in a different window?
I'd watch a 6.
What? Are you cool with that, Kevin?
I'm totally cool with it. Florida UConn last night got done at 10:30, guys. That was awesome.
Which was an unbelievable game. I told Ravi this morning off air, I said, Florida, I have to give them a pass because of their schedule. They've lost to some really good teams. But, man, UConn is a monster. with how they can. And solo ball might actually be good.
To be determined.
Hold off.
To be determined.
Guys.
Game.
Listen,
I don't know.
I'm mortified. You two have been in lockstep this entire segment. I'm gonna go pout. Like,
great minds think alike. Also, like you need to get over the 8:00 start time, DB. I mean, that's totally fine.
Okay.
I mean, it gives you more basketball deeper in the night. You can actually turn on the local news right after that game is done. So thank you for your viewership. I would, I'm.
I don't even know why I'm crying. It's not like I'm asleep.
I was gonna say you don't sleep anyway. What are you talking about?
Well, it cuts into my bad binging hours, right? I can't start until after 12.
That's true. You can't watch weird Russian Rambo until all the games are over.
I'm on this. I'm on this new series, Kevin. It's called "It's All Her Fault." So some son gets kidnapped. I'm all in on that.
Well, God bless you for having time to watch some weird show like that. But anyway, like, I don't know why all the games have to start at 6 and at 8:00. The Big Ten and the Big Ten Network, I really appreciate that they start games at like 5 and 5:30. Sometimes they have weird start times, but it staggers them. And that would be my push for the scheduling of college basketball, because we like to flip, right? Especially if you can quad box now with YouTube TV.
I just wish they'd get bigger windows, because games aren't over in 2 hours.
No, they're never over in 2 hours. I'm fine with 8:00 starts, but not everything at 8:00. Give me an 8:15 in there. Give me a 7:45 in there, because then we can kind of come up with a college basketball red zone kind of thing, because you're going to get one finish to the next finish. And sure, if this ever came through, the very first day, everything's going to be a 35-point game and no one wants to watch the finish anyway. That's the way it would go.
All right. Kevin Suits, 1011 News in Lincoln. Smartest guy we've talked to all day. We appreciate it as always, Kevin. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Kev.
All right, Davey, I still love you.
I love you too, buddy. That's my guy.
All right, see you, boys.
That's Kevin Suits from 1011 News in Lincoln.
Nicest dude in sports.
No, we love Kev.
I don't really care.
I do try and sleep at least a little bit like a normal person. So
did I group text you guys? I think I wanted to shut it down last night.
I don't think
was
you
messing with you guys.
Sent anything after.
What was my last one?
8:20.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me going on this.
After I said I'd like to retract my answer, and you laughed at me.
Yeah, because you were getting grilled.
Not really. What do you mean by grilled? Like nobody was not in the group chat.
No, I was watching it unfold real time, and
yeah.
I was like, "Do you want that take back?"
It was kind of your take to start.
It was not a rhetorical question necessarily.
It was a leading question. I could tell how you felt about it.
Just was curious. Thought I'd ask.
Oh, all right. Well, we're gonna ask somebody else next. Nick BAHE.
That's a good guy.
It's a good guy to ask.
My favorite.
It was that.
I can ask him about
everybody.
Yep.
And we will.
John Jankenheimer Smith at Hofstra, and he's gonna be like, "Oh man, you know what?
Oh
I
man,
can't believe he's only shooting 38%."
Jankenheimer, better shooter than that.
When he comes, DB, when he comes off those down screens, man, I'm like, Nick, it's Hofstra, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I know. This is what I love doing."
Yeah, that's like you with college football or Pac-12 rowing, apparently,
or even college basketball. Because you know who I want to know about?
Who?
I have to ask my man about Iowa.
Big Iowa guy.
No, I'm not. I'm looking to see where Nebraska can get in
the standings.
Yes.
Okay, where they can fit in.
Yes.
Who they can leap.
Yeah.
That's DB. I'm Ravi Lou. We'll have Nick BAHE coming up next. Talk a little college hoops here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
As it relates to us, I've addressed one thing. We've let 3 coaches go. Don't foresee letting anyone else go. Obviously, Coach Butler, I discussed with you guys. Donovan Raiola, who worked his butt off for us for 3 years, an amazing man, great football coach. Made the decision to go in a different direction, just as we try to take another step offensively and just kind of go in a different manner. But I have to thank him for all that he's done, and no one's worked harder. And very appreciative to him, and then let Terry Braden go as the defensive line coach. And so we're actively pursuing what we'll do defensive line-wise. Thank Terry for his work and his time here.
I thought the preparation that we had all week really led to the really the full game, the 40 minutes. We worked on our starts a lot over the week, and I thought that carried over. And it wasn't only the first half start. We talked about the second half start, and we done a solid job with the second half, with the exception of the New Mexico game, where they came out and threw a haymaker at us, and we finally recovered in the last 10 minutes. But we talked how important it was to get off to good starts. Out of the gate, the first 5 minutes of both halves, and it was 15-2 in the first half. It was 9-3 in the second half, and we pushed that lead up to 20 pretty quickly in the second half, and then we just kind of survived and hung on from there. So, that just shows you what happens when you can come out, get off to a good start. You build yourself a cushion as opposed to having to climb out of that hole, which is a dangerous game to play. It's going to be very important again tomorrow. I anticipate a crowd very similar to what we had against Creighton, which was a huge factor, I think, in our start and for the energy that was in that building. I really do think that helped us all the way along.
At Centris Federal Credit Union, we have the tools and resources to help our members fulfill their financial goals, with a focus on building a stronger community for the next generation of leaders. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Tip your cap to Sam Hoiberg and the Nebraska defense, but one way or another, you've got to find a way to get involved. Hoiberg, step back three. It is all Nebraska in Lincoln today. And that's got to be priority number one if you're going to chip away at this thing. Wow. Bucket and the foul. Braden Franger out of Lincoln. Hitting the deck, getting the points, and taking control for Nebraska. The redshirt freshman getting downhill, just a little snake dribble. He's left-handed. He gets to that strong hand. Chance for three to Hardway.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by the one and only Nick BAHE, basketball analyst for Fox Sports 1, Westwood 1, Peacock. Did I miss any?
For Hurrdat Sports.
For Hurrdat Sports, there we go. That's our guy. Nick, how you doing?
I'm great, guys. It's good to talk to you. What's on the menu today? What are our thoughts on things? Let's get into it.
I don't know. I was gonna stretch your basketball talents and ask you about, like, I don't know, somebody from New Zealand playing in the NBL championships, but I was like, let's just keep it simple. Throw him an easy curveball and talk Iowa basketball. Just what you thought we were going to talk about early. But I'm kind of kidding, but I'm not. On the heels of Iowa, talking about Nebraska, right? You're like, DB, get to the goddamn question. I'm curious. You just did this broadcast. You saw Creighton. You saw Creighton brings to the table. We're watching Nebraska. I felt like you were one of the few guys that real time, like during the broadcast, didn't make it necessarily about what Creighton wasn't doing, but what Nebraska does do well. When you look at the Big Ten Conference, is there a niche, a place, a role for this Nebraska team to continue doing what they're doing that you think is portable, that gives them a chance to be in the middle of the pack in this conference?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think what's hard is, I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to be phony here and get on the radio with you guys and act like I am not completely surprised at how good Nebraska's played so far. I was very worried about this team, to be really honest with you. I was worried about the point guard spot. I was worried about just how athletic they were in terms of somebody creating shots off the dribble. I thought they were putting a lot into Rienk Mast coming off of a major knee surgery. I wasn't sure that Bryce Sanford would become the second coming of Reggie Miller, coming off the transfer portal. So I think, Damon, to answer your question, I think so, but I'm also somewhat in real time calibrating how I view this team so far. I've been very impressed with how quickly they have come together. Clearly was a plan in place to go get some 3-point shooting. That has come to fruition. Jamarcus Lawrence is a completely different player, in my opinion, than he was 2 years ago. Rienk Mast has hit the ground running and been outstanding. I mean, he is a problem, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he is better than he was 2 years ago, and he was good 2 years ago. He has developed a little bit of, they're setting on-ball screens for him, and he's able to kind of come off it and make some things happen. I've always said that what Fred Hoiberg likes the most is a versatile big guy, whether it's Derek Walker or Niang or Royce White, and Rienk Mast fits it perfectly right now. So Coach Hoiberg has done a good job of putting Mast in unique positions and allowing that to kind of unlock everything. Frager has hit the ground running faster than I thought he would too. It's never a question of physically with Frager. It's always kind of mentally how he could have. I was always interested in how he would maybe handle shot selection and fitting into a defensive.
You would know better than most.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him a lot. He played, for people that don't know, he played for my brother. He played for my brother at Lincoln Southwest, so I saw a lot of Frager. And listen, man, when that dude was right, it was like, oh my God, it's amazing. Yeah. But there were moments where mentally things would kind of get away from him with shot selection or just frustration. But he has looked good. I just think this coaching staff's done a nice job. They're unique, man. That no middle defense, if you haven't seen it, can kind of discombobulate you. Sometimes the game can come down to how well you shoot the three and how much you settle for threes against Nebraska. So they're a unique team to go against on that end of the floor. And then just that 3-point shooting and the Rienk Mast piece of it makes them difficult to guard on the offensive end. And so, and they're older, like Coach Mack said, and I even said it, they got a bunch of guys that they know how to win, and all they give a crap about is winning, whether it's Sam or Kale or Rienk or Jamarcus. They have even Bryce Sanford to a certain extent. Like that guy you can tell he's just totally focused on doing what it takes to win. So yeah, I mean, I've seen nothing that leads me to believe that this isn't portable and replicable as we move forward. But certainly when you get in the Big Ten, it's going to be it's going to be even more challenging than what Nebraska's seen thus far.
Okay, so there's a bunch of things that you said there that I want to talk about. So I'm going to try and streamline this as much as possible. I want to start with what you said about kind of the Nebraska roster coming into this year, because I think much like you, and I think a lot of people looked at this roster like individual by individual, and we're not blown away, right? We're like, yeah, I got some questions about how that's going to work and kind of probably the upper end talent of the roster, if that's fair.
He's arguing with me, Nick, because I said, I could see what they want to do. They want to be able to shoot the three and space the floor. And he goes, I don't know, man. I don't know. So, like, that's the supposition in the offseason that he's talking about.
I got it. Okay, I like the context.
So, I mean, the supposition was like, yeah, everybody kind of wants to do that, but are you good enough? Like, that's like, yeah, we'd love to be able to shoot the ball. That'd be terrific. But so you start there. And what to you has been the differentiator that takes you from where we started, where we're not necessarily in love with the roster, even if we can see what they're trying to do, like DP was.
Knock it off.
Is it? And then you have this other thing where I feel like people aren't telling the truth about Rienk Mast right now, because he was good 2 years ago. He was not in the neighborhood of this in terms of being fully in control of a basketball game seemingly at all times. Like, is that the biggest differentiator for you between what you saw with the roster and what you're seeing now? Or is it something else or a combination of factors?
Yeah, I mean, the cop-out answer is probably a combination of a lot of that. I do think every offense they have to give you something you absolutely have to respect and get you into rotation. Does that make sense? Like, so you got to kind of start there with your offense. What is it that you do that puts your defense in conflict, that gets one domino to fall and another domino to fall, and then all of a sudden you're either attacking a closeout or you're getting an open shot or whatever. The ball is moving or the ball is where it needs to be in a scoring position. And Rienk Mast so far has provided a lot of that. But the other thing that has provided a lot of it is Bryce Sanford's movement.
Yeah, he gets downhill.
And just Damon, he's one of those guys. And this is why also I think the Asian injury is going to end up being a little bit bigger of a deal than you think.
I agree with you there, though, from spacing. Yeah. I am 100% with you.
Yes, because he's like Bryce Sanford in that when you run those guys off of pin downs and off of baseline staggered screens and different things, you better stay attached to their body, and there better be an extra set of eyes on him when he's coming off those screens, whether it's a switch or a hedge or whatever. And I guess the thing that has impressed me is they've been able to get the dominoes falling defensively off of Rienk's versatility and the three-point shooting's movement and gravity. And last year, a lot of what got things going was simply Bryce Williams driving it, or Jawan Gary driving it. And so, and you see that in a lot of cases where sometimes it's just an individual player's ability to come off an on-ball screen and just like make a play. They're not blessed with a lot of that. And Fred Hoiberg knows that. So they don't try to do a lot of that. And I wasn't sure if X's and O's and three-point shooting and a versatile big would be able to manufacture enough offense. And so far, I stand completely corrected. They have been excellent in that. They really, and it helps to have glue guys that understand it in Sam Hoiberg and Cale Jacobson and those guys. But man, Nebraska effing executes. Like they know exactly what they're trying to do. They screen with a purpose. They cut with a purpose. They know why is this two-way go on a Bryce Sanford come up a pin down on one side or a staggered on another side, and what if the defense handles it this way, how they're supposed to react and read it. Everybody completely understands that, and that's what's allowed them to kind of flourish offensively. And I feel like when you watch Nebraska, they are absolutely, and it's cliche, but they are that classic, like the sum of the parts is better than the individual pieces. And sometimes we get too caught up in individual pieces. You know, like you look at like a Rutgers last year. It's like, yeah, I see Ace Bailey. I see Dylan Harper, like ballers, right?
That team sucked.
But like, okay, we're not playing 2-on-2. We're playing 5-on-5 in Division I college basketball. And this is not a shot at Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey, but I'm just using them as an example. as how sometimes we can get too caught up in top-end talent and individual pieces and forget that you do play basketball 5-on-5. And it's about how the whole picture looks. And when I watch Nebraska play, the whole picture looks pretty darn good. And I think a lot of it is just they have a complete understanding of who they are, what they're trying to do, where their bread's buttered, where they're where it's not a good situation for those guys. It is, and you contrast that with like Creighton, for example, and they're still searching for that. But I know that was a long answer, Robbie, but that's kind of how I have been digesting it so far.
That's why we like talking to you, though. We like in-depth answers. And listen, it's me and you, so we're going to talk fluidity, right? That's the thing. Because it'll give you. I want to talk about the conference too, and especially as it pertains to Wisconsin tonight, because they can score. And you're talking about the sum of the parts, and I do want to talk fluidity and how they defensively. The no middle, our group text, I mean, it's me, Matt DeMarinis, it's Padilla, it's Rob. It's like, all right, we talk.
That's a good crew.
It's wild. It is wild, Nick. I never thought 3 years removed I'd be in the middle of this. But so we're talking no middle and how Nebraska likes to defend. And I think the guy we're forgetting about, and he has to be huge tonight with how Wisconsin plays. I just watched them put up 96 on Marquette, is Berke Buchtenjel. When Nebraska is it looks like a mad scramble. It almost looks unorganized at times. It's like, wow, we're just willing to leave a wing shooter wide. It looks like a scramble drill, but he's so savvy in terms of like how versatile he is and who he can guard in these concepts. How critical is it that if you can get him offensively to understand shot selection, that his health has been as instrumental as almost anything Nebraska's trying to do?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that like the one thing that Nebraska does lack, which is just like almost irrefutable, is just a little bit of size and just pure athleticism. And Berke Buchtenjel may not be the most athletic guy in the world, but he's got good size and he's physical. And one of the things Fred Hoiberg, I asked him at shoot-around, I was like, okay, what's something that you feel like still is really concerning to you or you got to kind of continue to grow at? And he said, I'm worried about us rebounding, continuing to rebound. And that's where Berke Buchtenjel is super important. And his ability to be able to fly around and go and clean up the defensive glass. And what can be hard when you get into all those scrambles is you can get into cross matches on the defensive glass. So all of a sudden, Sam Hoiberg's trying to wrestle Owen Freeman, and Berke Buchtenjel has maybe got an athletic wing that's flying over the top of him. And so you got to have a bunch of guys that are really thinking about putting a body on somebody and going and getting the ball. And so, yeah, Berke Buchtenjel's never gonna. I shouldn't say never. He's not necessarily built to just wow you offensively, at least right now. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have incredible value with his ability to understand the defensive system, which is a little. I mean, there's a lot to it, And you're in rotation. You got to know, who's got your back, where you're flying out to, where you're positioned if the ball is in a certain spot, and having it be a second year in the system. Buchtenjel understands those things, and I think because he understands those things, he's in a better position, not only defensively, but to clean up the glass as well. So, yes, I mean, whether it's him or Jared Garcia or even Frager to a certain extent, I sometimes like it when they slide Frager to the 4 at times just because it's a different look offensively. But Frager vertically is a big-time athlete.
Yeah, he's a menace, too, because he has no confidence issues.
No, he does not. No, he certainly does not lack for that at all. He needs no encouragement to go get busy. And so, yeah, it's got to be a group effort, to cover up some of the deficiencies defensively, and on the glass as well. And Buchtenjel has done a good job of that so far. I mean, I know he was only 1 for 6 from the floor the other day, but he grabbed double-digit rebounds, and that stuff's super duper important.
All right, so you obviously have to start with Blackwell and what Wisconsin wants to do. They had the offensive of BYU got away from them early in the season when BYU hammered them. But, TCU was a little bit of a little sluggy. How do you think Wisconsin wants to play, and where do you think they belong relative? It's a tight line. I think it's only Nebraska 2.5, Nick. And Nebraska's at home, which leads me to believe that Wisconsin, they get a ton of respect. Where do you start with these guys?
Well, I mean, anytime a team plays Nebraska, you start with the 3-point line, but I also think you have to start there with when Wisconsin plays really anybody. So it's not necessarily just a matchup-specific thing, but I think it's one of the evolutions in the ways that Greg Gard and the Wisconsin identity has evolved. I think they kind of they came to a realization a couple of years ago, like, you know what, this walk the ball up the floor and try to beat everybody 55-53 just I always like I love the Sam McEwen analogy he uses with Iowa football, where it's like Iowa's like gravity. They pull everybody to them, and that can be good teams or bad teams. And I think Wisconsin was a little bit like that on the basketball court. And so I think with Wisconsin, it starts with their 3-point shooting. And Blackwell has certainly kind of seemingly taken that next step into being kind of that number one scorer. I like the two guard additions, though, in Boyd and Andrew Rohde. I mean, Rohde, once upon a time, he was at St. Thomas as a freshman, and Greg McDermott was drooling over Rohde. They wanted Rohde bad when he hit the portal a couple of years ago, and he ended up going to Virginia. But Mac really liked the versatility of Rohde. He was like, I think he could kind of be like a little Gibbsy that's kind of got a 3-point shot, too. And so I think they've done a good job finding the right guys. I mean, So it starts there with Wisconsin, their ability to spread you out and shoot the three. They're kind of similar to Nebraska in that regard. Nolan Winter's a versatile big, kind of like Rienk Mast that can step out and shoot it a little bit. He's skilled and can pass, and they got guys that can spread the floor and shoot it. So to me, when I look at Wisconsin and the new version of them, the 3-point shooting, and then because of the matchup, it's going to be super important. I mean, Wisconsin, they make 11 threes a game. They're top 20 in the country in 3-point field goals made per game, just like Nebraska is.
Dude, they score 88 a night.
No, it's kind of not. It's people have to kind of recalibrate how they view Wisconsin. This is an offensive-minded team that wants to kind of outscore you, and so. How comfortable Nebraska how uncomfortable Nebraska can make them offensively is going to be important. I mean, you remember last year, they that was one of the poorer performances in Madison last year. Wisconsin just hammered Nebraska at their place a year ago. So I mean, they understand what this defensive system, what you have to do against it, and so we'll see how well Nebraska can take away the paint in the middle and get back and contest and run certain guys off the line.
All right, Nick, I want to go a little national on you here. I want you to stop me when I hit a team that cannot win a national championship this year, okay?
Oh, boy. Okay.
Arizona, Michigan, Duke, Iowa State, UConn, Purdue, Houston, Gonzaga, Michigan State. Are you stopping me on Gonzaga?
I like Gonzaga. I'll stop on Michigan State. I'll
Okay.
stop you at Michigan State.
Would you add anyone else that was not included, like a BYU, Illinois, Bama, anybody like that?
Maybe would you give Florida some grace because of their schedule, or Illinois because of their upside?
Yeah, I was going to say I'm not ready to. Florida's lost some close games to some really good teams.
That schedule is sick.
Schedule's ridiculous, man. It's Arizona game to start the year could have gone either way. The last night's game against UConn could have gone either way. Their front line's so good, and you feel like those guards are going to continue to kind of round into form. I'm with you, Damon. I would probably, if there's someone we didn't name, I'd probably throw Florida in there. I have seen Illinois in person, and I really, really think they got a chance. I wonder how tough they are at times defensively. But offensively, it's just ridiculous how much margin for error they have. Where they have 6-7 guys that can all score 20 points in a game and beat you. And so I really like them. Michigan State, I saw them against Iowa, and
I'm surprised how easy they hammered them.
Oh, they crushed them. Yeah, they. I think it was a little bit of a wake-up call for Ben McCollum in Iowa too. You know, I mean, I think they kind of felt like, and to McCollum's credit, you know, they have not had to. They've been able to kind of do what they do every game and be okay. This was the first time I think they realized they were a little physically outmatched, and it was going to be hard to try to out-physical or just play Jackson Kohler one-on-one in the post. They probably needed to do some different things. I just always worry about teams that really struggle to shoot it from three.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just have a hard time really wanting to get in bed with those teams. And listen, Michigan State was one of those teams last year, and they get all the way to the Elite Eight. So I think they're one of the few teams that, although they don't shoot it well from three, the way they defend, the way they rebound, the kind of culture and identity of that group allows them to overcome some of that stuff. But I would say they're the one, Robbie, where I'd probably stop you there. They got to prove it to me in terms of 3-point shooting before I put them with those other groups. But it's pretty amazing that you listed that many teams. I mean, it's probably ridiculous. Like,
I would say we're like 10 or
probably
12 teams
wrong.
in, basically.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's probably wrong, right? But like,
I don't know. I mean, I
don't know. I mean,
I'm
at
not
this
sure I
point,
disagree.
I know. I mean, I just don't know. I've just been so impressed with so many teams. I just have been. I watch Iowa State and what they did at Mackey, and I'm like, God dang, you know, like, you know who I really like on their team is Killian Teray, the point guard.
I thought you were going to say Jefferson.
Oh, I love Joshua Jefferson too. I mean, no,
He's silly.
He's outstanding. He really is. I mean, he can post, he can shoot, he can do a lot of different things for them. I just think when Iowa State, they're defensively, they got to disrupt you, they got to turn you over, and you need somebody to get the party started when that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
And that's typically whoever's on the ball.
Yeah.
And damn, it's like Teray is heaven sent for how TJ Otzelberger wants to play.
And he compliments
So I think
Lipsy.
And he compliments Lipsy, so Lipsy can kind of not save himself for offense, but he doesn't have to be, you know, he doesn't have to be the guy to get the party started on the ball, because that takes a lot of effort to really dog the ball for 40 minutes. And so, yeah, I like that group, man. I mean, there's just this is a deep season and it goes without saying, but I mean, the freshmen are just like it's a joke, guys. Like, it is a joke how good these freshmen are.
When Caleb Wilson is the fifth or sixth freshman you mentioned, it's probably pretty deep.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, I remember I was texting Barrett Rude last year during the NCAA tournament. We were talking like, is Cooper Flagg one of the best one and dones we've seen in 20 years? And we were both like, yeah, I think he is, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it seems kind of almost weird to then have a new crop coming in and go like, are these guys?
You might have four guys that could have gotten taken ahead of him.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, legit, man.
At least three. I mean, DeBonta, Boozer, and Peterson for sure would be in that conversation.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you saw what DeBonta did last night, and then I was able to see Darren Peterson in person when one of the early games that he actually played in against Green Bay, and I was like jaw agape the whole. I was like, is this real? 6'5", strong as hell, totally in command. Like, I was just blown away at him, and then Boozer comes in, and I'm like, look at this dude. Like, this is a freshman that is just.
He's going for like 24 a night, and people are telling me they saw that offensively, and I was like, would you knock it off? No way.
I know. Well, you know, we talked about how they're setting ball screens for Rienk Mast. Like, they're setting ball screens for Cameron Boozer and, like, slipping Isaiah. Like, they're doing pick and pops with Boozer popping it to Isaiah Evans. Yeah. You know, it's like, oh, my God. It's just – it is – for people that maybe haven't completely – that are listening that haven't turned the page to college basketball, oh, man, you are going to love some of these young players that are across the Pete from Arizona is incredible. You know, it's just it's fun. It's really fun.
Who would you take right now, Fears or he goes by Fears Jr. or Braden Smith if you're running the point in this Big Ten this year?
I would still take Braden Smith. I mean, I'm a huge Braden Smith fan. I mean, I think he is. Full disclosure, one of my favorite things to watch in all of sports is a great passer in basketball, and Braden Smith's kind of him and Fears are like the last of a dying breed of like true point guards. But I would still take Braden Smith. I like Fears a lot, and I think Fears is really coming along and coming into his own. You can tell Izzo's starting to really like him. He's even thrown out them a Teen Cleaves-ish comparison and just kind of like how they're built and what they play like. But I would still take Braden Smith. Like what that guy in pick and rolls and seeing the whole picture and seeing the skip pass, like and the wars he's been through and the confidence he has, I still love Braden Smith. That's why it sounds crazy after they just got crushed. I'm not so sure that still gun to my head. Like if I had to ride with one team right now to that I'd be the most confident is going to go to the Final Four, it'd be hard for me to not choose Purdue just because of the experience and Braden Smith.
Yeah, I didn't want to see Cadeau go. Believe me, I cried as a Carolina honk. But you talked about margin of error, versatility, guys that can get you on a given night. And Michigan doesn't even have to play well offensively because of what they can do to you defensively. Where does Michigan stack up for you?
I mean, like really high.
They're massive, right? Like that's a big basketball team.
Well, how about their number one in 2-point field goal percentage offensively, and their number one in 2-point field goal percentage defensively. So that tells you they are winning the easy basket game every game they play. And it's one thing to be undefeated and win. It's another thing to completely dismantle teams.
Yeah.
They're
killing
teams.
You see how they treated Gonzaga?
They're killing people.
Who's an elite physical team. Like that's a gifted, big, strong team.
Right. If there is a team across the country that you go, frontline rise, Graham Ike and those, they could probably go hang in there. And no, it didn't work out for him.
Absolutely not.
I think the two things with it. First of all, Mara is he was at UCLA last year, and when he came out for warm-ups, I was like, you ever see someone so big you feel like you're like, am I having like another stroke? Like, am I seeing this guy correctly? Like, he is enormous. He is. I can't express how big he is. But the one thing Dusty May has done a good job of is he's gotten size that is skilled. Like it's amazing that when you think about Golden and you think about Danny Wolf last year, that was what made that team unique. Mm-hmm. Their versatility on the front line. Well, the same thing is happening this year with Mara and Lendenborg. Like those two guys, they can pass. They're skilled. Marez Johnson has come in and added a component to their front line too. And so
defends the glass too.
Defends the glass. He those other two guys are a little more finesse. He's got some tenacity and some grit to him. But in a world where we're kind of it's a guard-led game, right? Like everybody wants to load up on guards. Michigan has been unique in that they've had some terrific front line players. But to your point, like Cadeau has really kind of he makes that whole thing go, in my opinion, still, because you still need somebody that can control things, can push the pace, can make things happen. No, I really like that team. I have Rutgers and Seton Hall on Saturday, and I turned on the Rutgers-Michigan game last night. And Matt, at one point, my 5-year-old Matt came over and was like, "Can I watch it with you?" And I was like, do I want to? This game might be rated R. I don't know if I want to let my 5-year-old watch this.
This might be explicit.
Who's the? Go ahead. Who's the best?
No,
team?
it's just no. You go ahead.
Who's the best team in the SEC?
Oh man, boy, for how good they were a year ago, they're not quite there. The numbers wise would point to Vandy. I think they're that would be what maybe some of the analytics would tell you. I'll still say Florida, like we talked about. I'm not going to overreact to some of their losses. I would still say Florida's the best team in the SEC. I still really, I mean, the front line, the winning pedigree, I still think it's Florida.
So it'll be interesting too because Bama's only losses are to Purdue and Gonzaga, and
Right,
oh by the
right.
way, they've got Arizona this weekend.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
What?
Yeah, it'll be fun to see. I mean, because Arizona's not shy about getting up and down the floor either. So it'll be fun to see what that game looks like. But yeah, Bama's challenged themselves. There's no question about that.
Nick, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you a little bit about Creighton while we're here. I know.
I was gonna say, I was like, damn, we RIP Creighton, and we just say.
I know. Time and time again, Mac.
He slow played him all week to me, Nick. I just let him be in his feels a little bit because I rock with Mac too. I'll see him tomorrow morning. I just let him do it on his own pace, Nick.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know if I'm in my feels. You see Mac do this time after time, and where you're not sure about the fit of the team and how it's looking early in the season, and then he figures it out and it ends up being a good basketball team, right? I am having a hard time seeing that picture as the roster is currently constructed and the way it's looked so far. Is there for you, A, what would you diagnose as the key problem for this Creighton team so far this year? And B, is there an in-season fix in your mind?
Got after my guy, Josh Dix, Nick.
What did I say about Josh Dix?
No, Nick did. He's like, you got to be. And that's like.
I know. Yeah. No, I got you.
Well, first of all, I like that you acknowledged, like, it is kind of, Creighton's kind of been of late a slow starting team for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of, now some of them are a little more easily explainable than this one. Kalkbrenner mono, for example, those kinds of things. Like, you can chalk it up to things. This one's a little more like kind of
just a lot of new
hard
pieces.
To explain away, Yes. I mean, golly, where do you even start? Like, I think we always knew this was going to be a transition year. The last time that there was this kind of much roster turnover was in 2022. But the difference with that team was there's this cat named Ryan Hawkins that came in. And he was sent from the basketball gods for that situation, because what Creighton I think sometimes lacks right now is that they don't have like that established star that understands what it takes to win at this level leading the way. Jason Green, Isaac Trout, those guys were all role guys, and sometimes it's harder to lead the way when you're a role guy. Ryan Hawkins was able to come in and take some winning pedigree and kind of show the way for, an Alex O'Connell that hadn't played, a talented guy, but hadn't played a ton at that point. You had that whole crop of young guys, Nemhard, Kaluma, Trey Alexander, and even Kalkbrenner wasn't Kalkbrenner yet that year. But Hawkins was able to kind of lead the way. And I feel like that's what, to a certain extent, they're missing something intangibly right now, to me. And I look at that. I mean, I'm sure Damon can understand this. Like, when I first got to Kansas, I just was like, all right, Aaron Miles, I'm just gonna do whatever you do. Like, I'm gonna follow whatever you do in the weight room. That's what I'm gonna do. Whatever you do when we're conditioning, that's what I'm gonna do. However you approach certain drills, that's what I'm gonna do. And he had the winning reputation. He was the man. Like, it was easy to follow him. And this is the first year in a while that there really isn't that guy. And I think they're missing some of that. It's kind of been a perfect storm of injuries have disjointed some things. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I mean, injuries make a difference. No Freeman all summer and fall. McAndrew gets hurt. Greer, they're going to redshirt him. They pull his red shirt. He plays a lot in Vegas, and then he gets hurt. When the reality was, it was always challenging. When I look at this team, the difference between player 3 and player 10 or 11 is pretty small. And while you may go, ooh, that's good because they're all talented and they all can make an impact. Yeah, but it's also hard because you have to settle into a rotation, and it's hard when there's not clear gaps between players 3 and players 10. And I've lived there as a player. It can be hard when you show up to a game and you're like, hey, am I going to play 9 minutes tonight or am I going to play 24 minutes tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to get 1 shot tonight? Am I going to get 11 shots tonight? And all that stuff, you mix in all that, and I think you just have a group that chemistry is still a work in progress. I think competitiveness and fight and just togetherness in terms of, hey, listen, man, we got to dig in and get stops. We got to find a way, becomes problematic. So the intangible things are an issue. And I mean, Nick Graves has got to get it going a little bit. He's shot it poorly. And he was a little bit of a slower, more methodical player when he was at Charlotte. I think
he's had to speed up quite a bit.
Yes, he's got to play even in the half court. Like, remember how fast Stephen Ashworth played in the half court?
Mm-hmm.
Like, like Stephen got to where he played with great pace, regardless if it was in the full court or in the half court. Like, I just don't that I think Nick Graves has got to get the party started with playing a little faster, and I think playing with some pace. Like, I've always felt like the open floor is a great place to remedy offensive woes because you're not thinking, you're just reacting. And so getting out and playing faster. Freeman obviously is just a shell of himself right now, physically and mentally. You just never know how someone's going to come back from injury. Rienk Mast comes back great. Freeman's being a little bit slower. They got to find, Ravi, I feel like they got to find something on the defensive end. Yeah. Like something, whether it's, hey, we're going to be a 3-quarter court to a 2-3 zone team, or we're going to be you remember how they would deploy, whether it was Tyshawn Alexander or whoever, like, we're going to build everything around one guy guarding the other team's best guard and try to shut that off and kind of build the whole plan around that. Maybe you can do that with Josh Dix. They kind of tried to do that with Jackson Shelstad, but yeah, they got to find something on the defensive end that they can that is repeatable and helps solve one end of the floor. But yeah, I think this group's got offensive capabilities. They just got to settle into to a rotation, to some lineups, and I think that'll help. But they got a good stretch here, I think, with a lot of games at home to try to build some confidence as well, because certainly that makes a difference too. You can tell that team at Nebraska was not a confident team at all. That was a team that looked like their spirits had been kind of taken from them, which is concerning, because if your competitive spirit isn't where it needs to be, then nothing matters. So that's got to get on point.
I can't believe we're going to end with football considering this fantastic segment. You said something it's just brilliant, where you talked about Miles and model behavior and kind of what I was looking for in the offseason. Nicholas Allen, I said, the thing that Nebraska will miss most from Ty Robinson, do you remember what I said it was, Ravi? His work ethic.
Oh, yeah.
How he practiced. This was before the season even started, whatever. They're just finishing spring. I said, you have to be able to replicate how this guy went to work. If you can replicate that, then the young guys would have a chance, because when you don't have any model behavior, you just talked about it, right? It's like, who do I need to practice like? Who do I want to be like? Who sets the tone? It's like that was what was missing. It is so important and so under talked about. It's not even funny. Just how do I go to work every day that isn't set by the coaches?
Yes. I couldn't agree more, Damon. And not everybody. There are some guys that come from high school and have that motor. But I would say most, and both you guys coached and understand it. Like, I would say most, even players that you would say play hard and are tough, they don't realize the level that you got to take it to when you go to that high level of Division I football or Division I basketball.
And it's more the frequency. They may be able to do it once or twice a week.
Yeah, every day.
Right.
But every day is where the difference is.
Yeah, like you think you're playing hard in high school.
Mm-hmm.
You think you're practicing hard in high school. You think you're conditioning hard in high school. I could go on and on and on, but I think you guys get it. Like, when you get to Nebraska and you are playing in the Big Ten or Kansas in the Big 12 or Creighton in the Big East, like it's just different. It just is. Everybody's talented. Everybody was the man at their high school. Everybody killed in high school. Cool. Now what? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's like I used to always kind of that always hit me when I got in the KU locker room and I looked around. I was like, oh, everybody was the man. You know, everybody was the guy. Everybody killed. Like everybody does that. Yeah. So like now it's got the great equalizer or the great elevator can be what do your daily habits look like? And if you don't have a peer showing you what that looks like, it can be really hard. Yeah. It just can be. And I agree. That totally makes sense on how Ty not being there would have an effect on the day-to-day of things. And I know from personal experiences that's the truth. I mean, I thought like
that's a 6-year guy that grind, that knew how to when to work. Sure, we miss the mass and the actual play. I'm just talking about just the maturity to go to work every day. like well, that's a thing.
Yes, and not only showing you the way, but then you feeling like, and some people go about it in different ways, but feeling like you don't want to let that person down. Like the more you have people practicing like Ty or approaching things like Ty, the more if you aren't there, you stand out, and it becomes unacceptable. And
you don't want to be the outlier.
Yeah,
you don't want to be the outlier.
That's so funny. LP came out with no sleeves, and he was notoriously a warm weather guy, and he'd have this dried snot under his nose, Nick, and we would just be like, if this dude can be out here without any sleeves on, we ain't wearing them either. I know we couldn't wear them in the games, but I'm dead. That's like a true. We used to call him Roscoe, the little dude off of Martin that had the you know what, and he had the like LP, man, you're out here with the Roscoe, man. He's like, oh, you know, and he just wouldn't wear sleeves and stuff. So then we didn't. Like, it's just
right.
I get it, man.
Yeah. I completely agree, Dan. And I think to a certain extent they're searching for that at Creighton right now a little bit. And I also think here's the other thing that I think is tricky with that is you don't have to be the best player to necessarily lead the charge in that regard, but it sure helps.
It helps a lot.
You know what I mean? Like,
it helps a lot. Helps. Nobody cares if the walk-on does it.
You know what I mean? You feel me, Ravi and Damon? Like if cool, like the third string, you know, left guard is working his ass off. Like it's just different when it's the top guy. It just is. And so I think that's also a part of it. Because like Jason Green, Isaac Trout, those guys play hard. Like I'm not like I feel like I want to make it crystal clear because I really like those guys. This is not in any way, shape, or form an indictment necessarily of those guys. Like I think those guys do a lot of the right things, but it's just different when it's Ryan effing Kalkbrenner or it's Marcus Zagorowski or Mitch Ballock or it's Stephen Ashworth or you know it lands different when it's the dudes that are the guys, the top dogs. And so I think that is a big component that Creighton is still searching for a little bit.
Hey, we're cutting that up. It sure helps. It's all in the delivery. All right, buddy, man. We don't do it near enough, but I know you're like the hardest working man during this time of the year, so we appreciate it.
Meet me at the you guys are great, man. I'm a listener, so I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, buddy.
That is Nick Bahe,
sure helps.
One of our favorites. Always appreciate talking to Nick, and he, like you said, that dude works harder than anybody in the biz. So
you vibing with me though? Remember the whole title?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, as soon as you said it,
you have to replicate how he practiced,
and he was probably the best player on your defense. So again,
it helped you. And to the next point, you did feel like you were asked MJ Sherman, who was a good leader in his own right.
Yeah, you can't let that guy down.
Who set the tone?
Because you can, if it's some. And we'll take a break here in a second because I got to check the camera. Apparently, it's not working. But
oh, good.
Hey, do that again real quick, DB.
What?
Just do that again.
What?
One more time?
No.
just one more time for me.
You're not getting me.
Taking advantage of no camera.
Oh, I apologize.
Anyway.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Then we'll come back to wrap up the show. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
I think that there's a lot of things that went into this. You know, none of the opponents that we've played at this point have looked at our roster and said, okay, there's, 7 different kids that are capable of going for double figures, and so we're going to go to a junk defense and try to pull one person out. And I just think that, we had some easy open looks against their triangle and 2, diamond and 1 early, and we were, 1 pass, jacking up threes. We had 26 3-point attempts in the first half, and I thought we were kind of just playing into maybe what their hands were instead of getting our paint touches, working for things inside, outside, moving the basketball a little bit more, and then taking those good shots. And so I think that's a part of it.
Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
I think we need parity. Arizona State is a really good scheme blocking team, and they do a really nice job taking away specific hitters in certain rotations, and so we know they're going to work hard to look at some of our percentages and things like that, and so we have to make sure that we're not one-dimensional. If it's set Ava Martin every ball, I think we're going to have a hard time beating a team that blocks as well as Arizona State does. I think they have 3 blockers over a block a set right now, so it's a huge strength of theirs, and so we hope that when we look at the stat sheet, our set distribution is pretty even, our kill distribution is pretty even, because that means that we're being efficient offensively.
Ravi.
I think that there's a lot of things that went into this. You know, none of the opponents that we've played at this point have looked at our roster and said, okay, there's, 7 different kids that are capable of going for double figures, and so we're going to go to a junk defense and try to pull one person out. And I just think that, we had some easy open looks against their triangle and 2, diamond and 1 early, and we were, 1 pass, jacking up threes. We had 26 3-point attempts in the first half, and I thought we were kind of just playing into maybe what their hands were instead of getting our paint touches, working for things inside, outside, moving the basketball a little bit more, and then taking those good shots. And so I think that's a part of it.
Citrus Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Citrus Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you that in just 5 minutes, you can unlock personalized tools, resources, and content for your financial journey, and it's completely free. Citrus Federal Credit Union has free financial education center called Enrich. Go check it out, centrusfcu.enrich.org, and you will find all the resources to help you meet your financial goals. Federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender. Go check out centrusfcu.enrich.org today. DB?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was asleep. What happened?
I don't think you were asleep.
What happened?
I think you
was
were
waiting for the camera to come back.
Yeah, me too. None of it works, so that's fine. It's all
I'm
fine.
trying to figure out why I got this picture.
Well, so here's what happened. Is when I kept telling you to do.
This is ridiculous.
You know how I kept telling you to do funny faces? I was putting your camera up on the screen while that was happening.
Why would you do that?
Because I thought it was funny, and I was right. Because why I got that screenshot, and it is funny. Because I'm a good friend. I'm trying to help you out.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent.
Exactly. That's why I was singing the songs about Shane being my friend.
Well, you have known Shane
people like me.
a lot longer than I have.
All right, let's not get carried away. I don't need
You've known
much of anything.
You've known Shane a long time.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, we go on like 20.
I am bad, and they know I'm bad.
No, you're not, Shane.
Here he goes.
No, you're not.
What you just said.
You good? You gonna make it?
It's fine.
You gonna make it out here?
That's fine. I was hearkening back to when good players practice hard.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice. That is the one thing I think is
what's happening.
Every time I think or we talk about this, I think of the line from The Last Dance where Jordan's like, I never asked anybody to do something I wasn't willing to do.
He said it sure helps.
It does. It really, really does.
To this day.
It's true.
Oh, this is delivery.
And it's not really even, I don't know if fair is the right word, but you expect the lower level guys to be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So when they do it, no one really cares. I mean, the coaches care. I get that. Whatever. but no one really cares in terms of setting a team culture if your lower end guys are doing it. It has to be somebody near the top.
Can I share something with you? Speaking of,
I would love that.
About just things we assume that don't really happen. Like, because sometimes I think people roll their eyes, right, about model behavior or whatever.
Sure.
But clearly that matters. So a coach that I follow on social media tweeted something out this morning. And I think it's interesting because I think one of my buddies yesterday on the message board was like, hey, man, keep talking scheme. I love it, whatever, because you never know how it lands. But
yeah,
it is stuff we talk about a lot. So at Coach Koo, he tweeted this out this morning at 5:35 a.m. And he goes, one of my big off-season – you can't make this stuff up. He goes, one of my big off-season studies is how does coverage tie into your run fits? Putting kids in situations to play the run. If you're lovers of a lever team, how does coverage challenge, if at all? Or if you're a box team, how do we line up to different formations and still keep your 7 or 8 man spacing? I was like, oh my gosh, I heart you. Because we try to talk about it all the time. We just want to, and it's fine. Like I told you what Josh said on social media. He's like, man, sometimes as a fan, I just want a fan. Yeah. Right? I don't want to know all the other stuff. But so we try to sprinkle in just, hey, the basics. But like, it's not just as simple as this guy sucks. He's a pass first guy, or, I don't like this guy has no experience. Like sometimes it's bigger than that.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like we just casually act like Coach Rhule dropped it in yesterday. He goes, he's a blank kind of guy. He likes to run fit out of quarters. This is how he plays. This is how it shows up on film. Like, and I'm just thinking we're gonna miss all that because you just want to know if we're getting stops or not.
Yeah.
But I'm encouraged because it's critical, and I think it's something that he was afforded the luxury of taking for granted because the guys that he brought originally understood one another and how to do that.
Sure.
D-line coached it the same way for the secondary coach, and coached it the same way for their defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
There's a reason that we thought guys were flying to the ball, even though they didn't have as good of players on paper.
There's also a reason those 3 guys reunited at the next stop, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not a coincidence.
You know what I mean? So it's not, again, it matters more chemistry. Like, if you're looking for the Signetti thing, and I was like, well, the 3 coordinators that he brought over had been together over a combined 30 years.
Yeah, so everybody's on the same page all the time.
Know how to do business in the building.
Yep.
Like those.
That's a thing that we take for granted for sure.
Sure. Especially when there's nobody there to challenge you on it. It's just like, oh, you know everything. Hey, we'll leave you alone. Just let us know if we can help you.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you got this. You're good to go.
All right. I didn't need to hear that, Shane.
It's pretty simple. I win.
We never need to hear that, Shane.
Not bad.
I like him.
He's fine. It's fine. Whatever.
What are we, 10-0?
All right. Apparently everybody has that picture now. That's great.
I was trying to help you out.
I think that's pretty douchey what you did.
I was trying to help you out. I was trying to expand your social presence.
Not what I needed.
Hear the word.
I thought you liked having a social presence. Is that not?
Pressing.
Is that not a thing that you care about?
We're just talking.
Exactly.
Oh, we're just talking?
Exactly.
Oh, cool. I thought you would.
I hope the camera thing never works again.
Well, we're gonna find a way to make it work.
I hope not.
And there's no shortcut to it.
I think
Sasha
she's too
will
busy
do it.
today. She's
It
in meetings.
It might not be today, but it'll happen.
Big deals. I hope we don't ever come back to cameras.
Well, then you just have to have the nose hair camera like we got going right now.
This dude, what I tell you.
What'd I do?
Nothing.
It's nothing. It's not even a big deal. Don't even worry about it.
Go home, digest some more soap, and lotion my ashy ankles.
That's not how I thought that sentence was gonna go. When you started lotion my ass, I was like, I don't need to know that.
Ashy ankles.
There you go. That's fine.
Although I do have to go to next gen, so I do like to make sure that my skin isn't dry.
Dude, I had lunch with our guy yesterday.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite people.
Dude, he's great.
Yeah.
We're gonna be.
I hope he likes me because sometimes I feel like they think I'm crazy.
Well, just because somebody thinks you're crazy doesn't mean they don't like you.
I don't like crazy.
Well, yeah, but people have different taste.
Thank goodness. For
Maybe they appreciate that. They're like, man,
how about his poor staff?
Oh, I feel bad for them.
Can you just imagine the collective eye roll when I walk in there?
They're not this guy.
Nothing concerns. The time being concern's over.
They just point now.
Did you
go to your room.
Have you done the genetic testing yet?
No.
With like the mouth swab or whatever? That's what I'm gonna do next time I'm in there.
What's the?
It tells you all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to know.
Tells you like how fast you digest caffeine, and tells you like if you have a hard time like digesting certain vitamins and stuff, so they can give you like different forms of it, so your body uses it better. Like I'm all
so you guys can know my food storage takes are right on par. It's something else that makes my stomach feel like it's in a knot.
No, what they're gonna find is they're gonna like get the DNA swab and they'll be like, oh, your stomach is made out of cast iron. That's why it's fine. That's why you haven't died yet from salmonella.
I did just season both my skillets.
Did you?
Yeah.
There you
The
go.
Original non-sticks, baby.
But you guys should head over to Next Gen as well. They've been a great partner with us. And little teaser here, I think are going to continue to be a great partner.
I hope
so. We'll tell you more about that very, very soon. But head on over to Next Gen. It's over, about 176th and Center. Great place. Nick is super cool. Their practitioner, Laura, is super cool as well.
If you go now, you'll see me in about.
Are you going out there today?
13 minutes. It's Wednesday.
Do you go every Wednesday?
Yes.
All right. You go out there more than I do.
Every week. I don't have any friends.
I don't get the shots though.
Ah.
So I do my own.
And she was gonna say left side, and I'll inevitably screw it up.
Strong side.
And she's gonna say, "Do you remember what we did last week?" And I'm like, "No, I
no." You'd be like, "I don't remember what I did this morning."
I'm only in here 3 minutes. I don't commit anything to memory. Just two things: my blood pressure and what's my oxygen thing.
Oh yeah.
She got last week. Clearly, it was a bad day, right? That Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "Yeah, this is not normal. Everything okay?"
Nope.
Why do you ask?
Blood pressure is about 180 over 120.
Roughly.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hey, she paused too. She took the things off, and I was like, "What?"
It's like, "Are you okay?"
She's like, everything. Hey, what's going on?
A lot.
It's like
a lot. But give them a call, 402-614-9700. They're great out there. Love hanging out with them. I think they're going to get us some new gear too.
Oh, do you like the little red quarter one that says the Next Gen?
Yeah, so he was wearing a quarter zip yesterday. It was a nice blue, like Adidas one. I was like, oh, I might need one of those.
You guys have he's a musclehead. You should ask him if he gets his stuff specially cut.
Oh, the shirts?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. They look good fit on him. I might have to get I'm not as muscly as I used to be, but.
Or at all.
Well,
yeah, I used to have to do that.
That makes sense.
Shane, they do have extra smalls.
So they're cut just for me?
Yeah, one of their staffers, she's teeny. You guys got to wear about the same size.
That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. We'll be back
Just
tomorrow.
saying.
More Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love.